He's an internet lawyer, oh yeah. He's an experienced liar, oh yeah. He's got a DUI, baby, and a bunch of old ladies with tales to tell. Do you need a lot to save the day? Do you have a problem that should go away? It's just $50,000 to retain today. Trump stamper liar, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Internet lawyer, oh yeah. Trump stamp lawyer, oh hell yeah. Oh yeah. He fought for the rights of the dirty.com to lie about teens and even their moms. There's a string of suicides, ruined lives. He fucked special ed, he says it's fine. Trump stamp a liar, oh yeah. Fish got a little lawyer, oh yeah. Hashtag a lawyer, hey yeah. Did you go out on an NFL player? Did you blow your chances with shady behavior? Did you stalk and lie about a couple of babies? Call Trump stamp lawyer, he likes crazy ladies. You've never read Emotion, Life is your job. He'll write in rainbow markers and fucking blame Trump. Hashtag yikes, Texas, yeah. Motion denied, just bad luck. Oh yeah. Internet lawyer, oh yeah. Trump stamp lawyer, oh hell yeah. Oh yeah. Hashtag lawyer, oh hell yeah. Do you need a lot to save the day? Do you have a problem that should go away? It's just $50,000 to retain today. Trump stamp a liar, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Internet lawyer, oh yeah. Trump stamp lawyer, oh hell yeah. Oh yeah. Hashtag lawyer.
Legally, I know that doesn't make any sense, but that is irrelevant. If I go
It's
on,
not irrelevant.
it is
You know
absolutely
it.
no.
That
it
is not irrelevant. You know it.
Hashtag yikes, Texas, yeah. Motion denied, just bad luck.
Can I sue you for that? Can I sue you for that?
I think what you do is reprehensible. I don't like it.
Can I sue you for that?
Oh yeah. Hashtag lawyer, oh hell yeah.
Can I sue you for that?
All right. Well, hello there. How are you? Welcome back to the program, everyone. It's been a while since we've done a Fetal Attraction update. And yeah, what a glorious day to be on the internet because David Gingras has decided to join us here on YouTube. And I welcome him. Welcome to YouTube, David. Welcome. We've been waiting for this moment for a really long time, and it's finally here. It's finally here. I do have an announcement to make. Along the lines of making America great again, I'm also making leg warmers great again. I just want to let you know I'm bringing them back. So you may now feel free to wear the leg warmers, all the leg warmers. And those of you who are out there in the my crocheting crew, I challenge you to start crocheting the leg warmers because I'm telling you right now, they're coming back. The 80s are back. They're totally back. Gen X is back, baby. We are back. We are back so hard. I'm bringing back the one shoulder sweater and the leg warmers. So just letting you know. Now, I bought these on Amazon. I don't recommend. Do not recommend. Make your own because I've got so many ladies in this audience who do their own crocheting and knitting and stuff. And if you go to meganfox.locals.com, you will find the crochet crew and they are making amazing stuff. So I am now telling you, make the leg warmers. It's perfect. It's time for I've been waiting for this my entire life. Yes, Rosalind. Or she's been wearing them her whole life. Yeah, I shouldn't have gotten rid of mine, but I did. But see, I don't like the ones from Amazon. They're just not big and chunky enough for me. I want the really big, thick ones that you can, scrunch, like more scrunchiness. These are like anemic. I don't know. They're not quite, I need them to be bigger than this. So Those of you out there who are doing the crocheting, I say now is the time to start crocheting those leg warmers, and send me an easy pattern, will you? Because I'll make some of my own too. Somebody send me a pattern. I really only know how to make scarves, but I feel like I could handle a leg warmer, you know? I feel like I could do that. All right. Anyway, now that that's out of the way and you're all on your way to purchase yarn to make your leg warmers, I'm sure that's what's happening right this very moment. You're headed to Hobby Lobby, to that fabulous yarn section they have. Jason, I will not bring back parachute pants. I promise. I won't do that. Although fashion is so weird right now. It's like you can pick a decade and you can wear it because it's out there. There's bell bottoms, there's wide leg 90s style jeans, there's high waisted 80s style jeans. They have everything right now except for the 90s low waisted jeans. Those are nowhere to be found. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. Okay, so sweater dresses are back. I was just shopping. I posted a picture of me in the dressing room on Locals having a blast with the sweater dresses. There were so many good ones. I had a hard time picking which one I was going to buy. I ended up with a knitted green Christmassy turtleneck sweater dress. God, I love it. I absolutely love it. God, I want so badly. It's so great that the 80s are finally back. There were so many good things about the 80s, and I feel like we can do the 80s a lot better now with less Aquanet, and because there were so many things about it that were great. Some of the fashion was terrific. I'm sorry, but leg warmers should never have gone out of style. When you are wearing a skirt and it's winter and your legs are cold, like there's just no better thing than some leg warmers you can take on and off. And plus, they're very cute. Yes, we could do with smaller hair, and we can ixnay on the Coke. Yeah, less Coke would be good too. Neon, I wasn't a fan of neon, but we could go back to the pastels. The pastel pinks, the pastel, like basically those colors, like the pinks and the turquoises and the greens in the pastel colors were always good. Always good. Okay. David Gingras, attorney extraordinaire, David Gingras Esquire, he's entered YouTube. And now I have reached out to him because I do have a small concern that he's baiting everyone to play his video and then to issue false copyright strikes. Now, I hope that's not his intention. I hope that he has good faith enough to understand that when he puts himself out on YouTube, fair use demands that we can react to it, which means sharing bits and pieces of his work, watching it a little at a time and commenting on it, which is perfectly within the YouTube's terms of service and perfectly within fair use. However, his client loves to falsely strike creators for silly things. Like, for instance, she tried to do it to Lauren Knighty for reading an article and commenting on it that she wrote on Medium. I did not cover that article. It was the autism one. Now she's written another one, which is every bit as terrible. I'm not going to read that either, I don't think. I've had enough of hearing Laura's excuses for her bad behavior. No, Laura, autism does not cause you to fake pregnancies or cancer or lie to people you are trying to date. It does not do that. That's not what autism does. And it's really insulting to people who have it to listen to you go on and on about your autism excuse now. Whether she has autism or not, it's not an excuse to lie and cheat and scam and break laws and perjure yourself and all of the things that she has done. It's just not okay. No, nobody said that I wanted to see David Gingras's bits and pieces. For God's sake, fake Laura Owens. I've been missing you. Thanks for the 5 bits and pieces. You've seen him naked, you. No, I have not. Well, maybe. It's still up in the air. We were at ASU at the same time. That's all I can say about that. All right. So, Dum dum da dum. All right, so here's the thing. Here's my announcement. Mr. Gingras Esquire, I want to, in good faith, react to this video. I have sent him an email asking him for his permission to use it. I have not heard back from him. Of course, he did say he never wanted to hear from me again, so maybe he isn't going to respond. But I will read to you the email that I sent him so that you know that I did. I sent this today at 10 o'clock. I said, hello, David. It feels like you want us to play and respond to your videos, but I want to make sure you're not going to turn around and flag my channel for doing so, claiming copyright falsely like your client does. I am interested in giving a fair reaction to your recent post, but I would like your word you're not going to cause YouTube trouble. False copyright strikes are malicious and should not be used when people are making valid commentary on content. Please advise. All the best. Where's my button?
All the best, all the best, all the best, all the very best. All the best, all the best, all the best, all the very best. Megan Fox.
And then I signed it, Megan Fox. Yes, that's my real name. Okay, so hopefully he will get back to me. But since I haven't heard from him yet, I guess we're just going to take a chance and see what happens. Now, I know that Lauren Knighty went over this last night or maybe earlier today. I'm not quite sure when. And so far, I think so good. I don't think that she's been hit with anything. And I honestly, he did not. He could not have made this thinking no one was going to respond to it. I mean, he says he made it so that more of you could hear about it. Well, how could more of you hear his story if we don't play it? Because he only has 150 or something subscribers, which if you want to subscribe to David Gingras's YouTube channel, you should go over there and do that. Definitely go do that. Give him a click on his video. And but there's no way that he didn't want us to comment on this. So I'm going with the assumption that he understands what fair use is and that YouTube will back me up on this, because it's silly that we have to feel like afraid to comment on public videos, you know, because they can use these things as a weapon. They can use the poor copyright process on YouTube as a weapon against free speech. And considering that David Gingras calls himself a free speech lawyer, I would think that he would not try to strike me for listening to him speaking and commenting on it in the name of the First Amendment, which we both love and adore so much. By the way, I was happy to see him looking well. I was a little worried about him after the election. I did think somebody should go check on him because, you know, he can't be that happy with it. But he looks all right. He looks pretty healthy. He looks good. He's working on his Donald Trump tan. Oh, he's looking, I think, and the unbuttoned shirt, it's a little wild for YouTube, Gingras. It's a little wild. He may be going for the Dave Neal effect. Speaking of Dave Neal, you know, we had short shorts early on in this cult, but I am now instructing the cult. It is leg warmer season. Put your short shorts away, pull out your leg warmers, get out your one-shouldered sweatshirts, because that's what season we're in now, baby. we got the leg warmer season going. I know, Rogue Mama, they should be easy, but you know what I don't know how to do? The stretchy part at the top and bottom. That's what I need the pattern for. I need to know how to do the stretchy part at the top and the bottom. And once I have that, I'm going to be a leg warmer making machine. I can feel it. So one of you out there, send me an easy pattern. And when I say easy, I mean nothing harder than a double crochet stitch, okay? IT Goatee Brad says, boob windows allowed, unbuttoned shirts banned. Well, don't tell Dave Neal that, because Dave Neal likes his unbuttoned shirt. Oh, by the way, I should invite Dave. Let me invite Dave just in case he wants to pop in here. I actually have no idea what he's doing right now. Dave Neal. There you are. Dave Neal, stream invite. All right, let me send that to him. All right, let me text him just to make sure he got. I don't know what I did ask him earlier, but I didn't hear back from him after he sent me a couple texts, but I didn't hear back from him. So he's probably busy. Oh shit! Why is this doing this? Stop that! Get back to my. There we go. I emailed it. Okay, he said he might pop on for a bit. Okay. All right. So again, please hear me, YouTube and David Gingras. I am using this video in under fair use. There is no copyright infringement happening here. I am going to post the link to his David Gingras video. I'm going to post the link to the video in the chat, and I do ask that you guys go and click on it. We're not trying to take his content or anything or do anything bad to his content. If you want to subscribe, go and do that. He says he's going to be doing a 2-hour interview with Laura today, which of course I imagine he wants us to watch and comment on also. So I'm hoping to get something back from him, confirming that. Bruce from Oregon, ahoy, ahoy. Bruce, would you like to join me? You're welcome to join me if you would like to. I will send you a link, Bruce, on Gmail. Right? That's your Gmail, right? I hope this is the right Bruce. What if I'll send it on Twitter. What if it was the wrong Bruce and just some random Bruce showed up? That would be weird. So I'm going to go and send it on Twitter because I definitely know it's you there. Bruce, not that Bruce, not Bruce. Bruce. Why aren't you coming up? Why aren't you coming up in my Twitter DMs? I know we've spoken. Huh. Only in a group chat? That's so odd. All right, here we go. Now I gotcha. All right, Bruce. You have a link if you would like to join. Flux says, why didn't he button up his shirt? I don't want to see that gross. I don't know. I mean, he's in Arizona. It's 200 degrees there. He's probably just warm. It's probably just too warm in Arizona. Interesting. Cassie with the 5. Easiest pattern for leg warmers is upcycling old sweaters by cutting off the arms and sewing a seam at the cut line. Oh, interesting. That is a very interesting idea. Huh. Okay. All right, here we go. We're going to play some of this and see what David Gingras has to say.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the first and probably last, hopefully last ever, Gingras Law podcast. As everyone knows, I am not Dave Neal.
Nope. Everyone knows you are definitely not Dave Neal. Bruce!
Ladies and gentlemen.
This is such an exciting and glorious day. I love it when we can welcome a new YouTuber.
Oh my gosh.
I've been saying he should have been doing this from the beginning. He is so much more palatable in person.
I agree.
He is not good on Twitter.
No, I think the bite-sized replies that he does and the blog posts that he had on his webpage, it just devolves too much into speculation and insults and just wacky claims.
Wishing death on us and are wanting to read our obituaries. He seems to angry write. He gets very angry and then he starts, typing away without thinking about it. I feel like in person or on camera, he's thinking a little bit about what he is going to say and trying to appear more normal.
He has a more conversational style. Yeah.
I actually think for a first video,
Hmm.
my review on this is going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
I give it like a solid B. There were even some A minus moments, and we'll get
Mhm.
to those because some moments really had me like rolling around on the floor laughing. And I think that's good. It's good for YouTube success. If you can make people laugh, you're golden.
Right. That's for
I'm
sure.
the other Dave, who is most certainly not a professional vlogger of any sort. Coming to you live and direct from my webcam here at the wonderful Gingras Law office.
In other words, the back bedroom of my townhouse or whatever
Hey,
the hell, which is
I mean,
fine. Working from home. Look, I'm in my bedroom right now. So
yeah,
working
whatever
from home
works.
is good. Whatever
Working from
works.
home is great. And things are serious when you see the post-it notes. That's how you know that there's a lot going
Also,
on.
is that a Time magazine of Marilyn Monroe on the
It
on
looks like
what
it's something.
did he go buy like the anniversary edition Time magazine with all the Marilyn Monroe pictures? That makes me like him a little bit actually if he did. I mean, who doesn't like Marilyn Monroe?
Yeah,
That's good taste right there.
yeah.
Uh, um
He's got
all
this
right.
zebra lamp and a guitar. I mean,
Zebra lamp.
well, I don't know what it
Actually, I
is.
think that is okay. So in Arizona, you have to understand the culture there is they're very into these metal sculptures. I don't know what it is, but you can go in
Oh,
my
I
dad.
see.
You were at my dad's house.
Metal. Yeah.
Did you see he has like like the Remington like sculptures everywhere? He has like the horse and the
Oh. Hmm.
cowboy and like this is a very Arizona thing.
Hmm.
People who live in the
Southwest.
valley
The old
for
West.
whatever. Yeah, it's a Southwest thing.
Hmm.
Everyone who lives there has one of these metal statues somewhere in their house. I don't know why. But it's just a thing. So to me, that would be like that's probably one of these things he picked up at a arts and crafts fair or something. It's kind of cool. I don't think it's a zebra. I think it's a horse made out of metal. Very Southwest,
I was
very
goofing
Arizona
off a little
decor.
bit.
Yeah. Look at all his degrees on the wall.
Yeah, that's good.
I
I
love it
mean,
when they hang
my
degrees on the wall.
I got two of them right over here somewhere.
Oh yeah, there I see them. I see them.
Yeah,
Hey, if I had them, I would put them up, I'm sure. But I decided to drop out because Arizona ASU was way too fun.
that's fair.
I was doing a lot more partying with dudes like this dude instead of instead of my homework and going to class. So yeah, that didn't work out so well for me.
Discipline.
Hmm. I came out of there though with a very healthy appreciation and knowledge for sun tanning. I'm very good at it to this day. I can suntan all day long and never burn. I am a very good sun tanner. I learned that at ASU. Anybody who wants to learn good sun tanning techniques, definitely ASU is the place to go.
Hmm.
Also, the swim team, very nice to look at, and they practice at the pool all day long. So you can, anytime you go down there to practice the sun tanning, there's usually a good view of the swim team. So just a little tip for those of you looking for colleges. I wouldn't put ASU on your list if you're looking for an educational experience, but for everything else, it's top notch. Top notch.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe says, I thought you smoked weed back then too. Oh, yeah, a whole lot of it. Again, ASU also, it's
Oh
a dry
my.
campus, but that doesn't mean there isn't weed everywhere because there is. Yep, go Sun Devils.
Mhm.
Never made it to a game, but I used to hear the stadium from where I lived. So
Today is Tuesday, the 12th of November, and it's about 4:30 in the afternoon here in Phoenix.
I want to say he's done a good job with the ring light. So I only just saw the ring light in the corner of the
Mhm.
glasses. This is a thing that happens when you're streaming and you wear glasses. If you're
Yeah.
using a ring light, the rings will reflect in the glasses and it's really annoying.
Oh
He
yeah.
just he put it in the right place because it's not reflecting directly. Yeah, see that? It's terrible. It's
Yeah.
not reflecting directly in the glasses. I saw it there for a second on the right
Is
side.
most certainly not a professional vlogger of any sort. Coming to you live and direct from my webcam here at the wonderful.
There it is.
Yeah.
So it's over there. He did a good job. He put it off center. He must have read about this somewhere because this is something you learn after you've streamed a couple of times. So he looked into this, about where to put the lights and stuff.
Yeah.
I prefer not the ring light. I prefer
Mhm.
like a I have an Elgato light that is more like a flat panel, so that
Panel, yeah.
there isn't a reflection like that, because that if I wear my glasses, that would drive me crazy.
Oh my
Let's see
gosh.
if I put my glasses on, what happens in this
Yeah.
light? Yeah, it doesn't reflect. See, it doesn't do anything. So that's
Yeah.
why I like the flat.
Have you seen
panel.
all of Dave Neal's panels? He has so many light panels.
That's why he looks like he's 12.
Exactly.
I need him
Exactly.
to teach me how to do that. I guess I don't have enough panels. Dave's always like, you got to turn that exposure
More
way up.
lights.
I'm
Yeah.
like, well, if I do that, watch how I mean, it does erase all the wrinkles though. Like,
Mhm.
just yeah, it's
Ooh,
but
the
I
glamour
can't
shots.
I can't deal with it shining off my forehead at that level. So I turn it down a bit. But I mean, so far so good. This video, the camera angle's good. He doesn't, you know what he's also not doing that they do that people who have never done this do always? They put the camera too low, and then you're like looking up some poor guy's nose, and the double chins are, on display. Like he's got kind of my problem too. I've got the, but you got to raise the camera. That's why my camera's like basically on the ceiling, so that the downward slant erases what's under here.
Mhm.
So he's doing good with the camera angle too. Damn it. This is so far. This is going better than expected, Bruce.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Gingras Law Office. Today is Tuesday, the 12th of November, and it's about 4:30 in the afternoon here in Phoenix. I just finished a little project that I think some people are waiting for. This is Laura's opening brief for the.
All right, this would be the opening brief for her appeal. Looks pretty good. Got the big. Did he take this to Kinko's maybe, or FedEx, the FedEx office place, to get that done? It's like a very professional binding here at the top. I don't think I've ever seen that one. Must be because it's so many pages, but it
Yeah,
looks like a metal bracket.
He's going to turn it sideways here. This is a thick one, guys.
The Court of Appeals. It is done.
Also, you just doxed yourself on YouTube. Don't do that, because then
Oh,
you get
geez.
me in trouble. He put his address up there. I'm sorry.
Oh boy.
But that's okay. That's his law address. It's fine. It's public knowledge. But David,
It is 75 pages, give or take, including table of contents, table of authorities.
all right. So 75 pages is going to take us about 4 days to get through, unfortunately.
Right? Oh my gosh.
Jeez.
This document has not been filed yet. I am planning to file this whenever I feel like it, I guess. Obviously, we have over a month. December 16th is our due date. We are way ahead of schedule. But
He could turn his brightness up a little bit. I think the camera level is making him redder than he is. I don't think he's that red. I think this is a light problem.
Yeah.
Although then again, he does live in Arizona. He just might be, overexposed to the sun. I don't know. But I would turn that. I would turn
There's
that up
other
a little
lights.
bit.
Yeah, there's other lights. There's like some big bright light back by the metal horse.
Yeah, which also will cast a shadow. David, you might want to concentrate your lights in front of you, because that helps. That helps. You don't want light.
It happens to
really
me too with
behind
this
you.
big bay window I have here. I can't
Yes.
the sun will change and my skin tone will change in a video depending on
Yeah.
where the clouds are.
Yeah, it's important to keep the light in front of you if you can. If you're streaming and you have a window, you should try to put your face in the window, the window should be in front of you, not behind you. Now yours is to the side, so that's a little different. But this is, all he needs to do really is probably dim those lights behind him and turn the one up in front of him a little bit.
Laura and I both feel
He is
that
a little
there's really no
purple.
time like the present. She's been through hell dealing with all this, and she feels that
she's been through hell. Oh, she's been through hell. I'm so sorry to hear that she has been through hell. Bruce, what's your reaction to hearing that Laura's been through hell?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a little self-inflicted because she brought the story to the Sun, she brought the case to the court, and then when she couldn't bring clinical proof of pregnancy or paternity to the court, she ended up with a big bill. And as adults who are responsible, we should pay our bills. And so I can understand that it feels like hell, but this is a little bit self-inflicted to me, in my opinion.
You think? Dave Neal,
Oh
how
my
are you?
gosh, look at this guy.
Bruce has left me for Megan Fox. By the way, Megan, I saw you were pregnant with Machine Gun Kelly. Congratulations on that.
Ooh.
How did I let that happen? You know,
A lot of fetal DNA there with us rock
I'm
stars.
almost 50, for God's sake. You know what it was? It was the leg warmers. I'm bringing back the leg warmers. Short shorts are out, Dave. It's leg warmer season.
Ooh.
I hear you on
So-
that one, sister.
That's almost
Yeah.
as hot as bell bottoms. Ooh.
Your shoulder
bringing
looks
back-
like you need a shoulder warmer. What's going on over there?
I'm bringing back the one-shouldered sweaters and the leg warmers. I'm sorry, but the 80s are back, and I've
What workout video
declared it.
did you just come from?
So it shall be. What workout video? Yeah, exactly. A little Jane Fonda. Get the blood pumping. A little get with the old school.
I'm
had
Fonda
enough
of you, Meg.
Flash dance. Yes. Look, these are
Oh,
all cultural, wonderful cultural things we need to celebrate. I'm bringing back the leg warmers, though. I'm for real serious about it.
So this
We're gonna
you're
have
right on track. 30 minutes in, you've made it 1 minute, so you're on track for a 200-minute live stream.
I know. I know.
I just recorded
Well-
my video, so mine's uploading slowly because I'm in New York City here, hanging on by a thread with the 5G. But it's just insane. Like in my video, I just shared a home video of my wife picking things in the garden while she was 8 months pregnant, just to remind people when he says I'm nice to people in this, just to remind people he threatened to make us homeless multiple times, publicly and privately, just to show this guy has invested and bet his money on the wrong fucking horse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, here's the thing, though. You know, Dave, if he had done this from the beginning, if he had taken this tactic and gone to YouTube and like talked to people directly instead of doing all that weird blogging and tweeting that was so aggressive, he would have been and his client in a much better situation. I think they would have actually won over some people who had been like, leave her alone. You know, like he's a reasonable, likable guy, because he does come across that way in person. He does.
Which is so, but that's what's so
He's not
scary.
that
Is
way. I know.
it's scary because I have to show people emails he didn't want me to share. How abusive is that? Don't share this. Okay, what are you, my boyfriend, trying to keep me, my jealous boyfriend? So he wanted to share me, which, again, I shared in my video, the emails, and you've seen them with him screen grabbing homeless shelters from lawyers he's crushed, to use his terms, and then say he's going to graze Laura's horses on my lawn. Fuck you. So like, he can be as charming as he wants, but he came at this all wrong, and I can't whitewash and rewrite how that all went down.
Oh no, he can't do that now. That's never gonna change. It's already out there. He already did that. We have the entire record of all the things he did. So now this nice guy act that he's putting on, which would have helped him in the beginning, is not going to help at all. It's not going to help his client. It's not going to help anything because we've already seen it. We've seen the monster. Boy, was that a poor choice.
Laura
this
saw the
would have
monster.
This would have been a better strategy to start out with. Just saying.
The only way forward is forward. So we're going to try to get this thing filed. I don't think I'm going to do it today. There's just no reason to rush. We're going to try and do it tomorrow, whenever. We tentatively have a session booked for tomorrow to do a video, she and I. She's sort of a professional vlogger. I'm clearly not, as you can.
She's a professional vlogger. What does he know what a vlog is? I'm not sure he
Listen,
does.
For Clayton's sake, I hope she blows guys better than she releases podcast episodes, because she's not good at that. Maybe the vocal fry tickles the balls. Who knows? There might be some vibrational aspect to it that we aren't familiar with, but to call her a professional is
what?
mean.
Well, he said kind of.
Kind of. He did say kind of, but I think
Yeah.
he doesn't understand what a podcast is, or what a vlog is, or what a YouTube stream is. He gets the three very mixed up.
Which I
he
get
thinks
it. My mom still doesn't know what I do. I just imagine Laura's behind the camera with a gun. Call me a professional. And he's like, I mean, it reads like a Taliban, hostage video. And it's got the same video quality too.
Oh my gosh.
For a first attempt, though, it's not that bad. I mean,
No, it's fine.
we
And I
could have had
offered him.
we could have had
Yeah.
the camera up the nose angle. Like that's usually they always put the camera too low when they first start out.
Yeah, I'd give him advice. I don't think he could afford it. It'd be a minimum 800 an hour to give it. But I could give him advice. There's plenty of good YouTube channels that offer like tips on YouTube growth. And honestly, he'll probably make more money here because even though he wants to threaten me with homelessness, I'm for sure crushed him in salary this year. But hey, scumbags got to do what they got to do.
You can tell.
Well, to be
But-
fair, Dave, would you say the key is consistency, whether it's a podcast or a vlog or YouTube or something?
Yes,
Like,
the algorythom
I think that's
rewards.
the biggest challenge.
Yeah, and of course, consistency with his client. I mean, it's just to, we always say in the YouTube world, show, don't tell. And the problem with this video is it's all tell. There's no show because there's nothing to show for the fraud because nothing he says lines up with what we know to be true. And for whatever reason, he thinks that, makes us part of a cult. If we are part of a cult, it's a cult of tangible evidence and truth.
His cult talk is so silly. I mean, I think it lands really flat. None of us really believe we're part of a cult, and none of us are. We're not meeting in an empty barn building somewhere and wearing similar clothes and chanting and wife swapping. That's just not happening. And none of us even know each other. We just occasionally come together for a while to talk about a story, and then we go off and do our own thing again. The whole audience, same thing. They're like watching all these different channels. We all have our own opinions. There's no cult here. So what?
Well, Meg, I've swum in your pool, so I feel like we do know each other.
I didn't mean
And by
us
the way-
don't know each other. I mean everybody following the story. We're not like we don't go to the same church of Dave Neal or whatever the hell he thinks.
The Church of the Leg Warmer.
David Nelson says we're all wearing our official leg warmers, though. Well, that's because I told you need to be wearing those. So if that makes us a cult, well then hell, I guess. But Lord Jesus, can we just get past it? I mean, he's just, look, Gingras, there's just a bunch of people out there who do not believe your client because she's been proven to be a liar. You have called her a liar yourself in your own filings. She has credibility problems. So to call people who just don't believe her a cult, it's just insulting. It needs to stop. And I thought maybe he was making overtures toward people, us or whatever, kind of, to reach out with this. But then he goes right back to the cult talk. So, is he here? Is this really you, David? Is this really you? The cult is
So.
vicious. Well, yeah, I think you spelled your name wrong. Gingras. Can't be him. But yeah. So yeah, it's gonna get funny here though in a minute.
Anyway, we want to get out ahead of all of the JFC cult folks who are doing a better job at waging a media campaign to
Well, thank you very much.
Get ahead. Way to get ahead. You really jumped the gun on this one 10 minutes later.
Yeah, so I think it's interesting that he admits we're doing a better job at media. Well, that's because we are media, David, and we've been doing media for a long time. But this isn't a public media this isn't a public relations campaign like he is suggesting.
Yeah.
It's simply a story that captured people's imagination and attention, and there are people willing to tell it and bring you the news. Dave Neal discovered this story and did an amazing job with it.
I think it's
especially by
statistics as
yourself.
well. It's statistics because, in my experience, when you put up surveys, when you look at the audience just doesn't believe her claims, and it's overwhelming. And so when you have content, the content will also be overwhelming. Whereas if you look at other court cases, like the Delphi case, you're going to have 80-20 splits. You're going to have 70-30, 60-40 splits.
Yeah.
But that's not happening in this case.
Yeah,
No,
we
it's
call
never
it
happened.
it's earned media. So he thinks this is a campaign, but it's earned. It's people talking about it for free because of their own interest. It's the Bravo docket and other. I mean, how many lawyers have covered this? We haven't seen one lawyer or judge cover this that hasn't come to the same conclusion. She's full of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
get their message out. I feel that we have not done a great job. Twitter, not helpful.
David, there's a reason why Twitter hasn't been helpful for you.
I finally agree with this guy.
There's a reason, though. I mean, he doesn't quite understand why Twitter isn't helpful. He doesn't understand it's the guy behind the keyboard creating the mess. He thinks it's Elon Musk's fault.
Vlogging not helpful. Vlogging may or may not be helpful. I don't know. I'm not as articulate as some people are. That's why I stick to the paper methods. But
You know, it's interesting. He's got a little bit of self-consciousness here that I can see. He's worried about how he appears. But listen, Gingras, you're much better at talking to people than you are writing or tweeting. You should never write or tweet when you can have a conversation with somebody. Just take it from me. Don't do that again.
Yeah, I've said I would, like I said, he would have to apologize to my wife and like really apologize. Like he would have to be like I'd have to line item have him apologize. But with that said, I mean, I would take this bloated James Bond any day of the week if he wants to be a part, like this Pierce Brosnan. If he wants to be a part of the YouTube community, I think he would have value to offer. It's just, like I said, it's just like he kind of just bet on the wrong horse here.
Yeah, and then like I understand trying to do damage control and everything, but the way he went about it was so unprofessional and so offensive to so many people. Like he really does owe an apology to you, to your wife, to me, to Doug, to everybody who to the entire group of people he calls the JFC cult, who are not anywhere near, they're not vicious and they're not cult members, and they just want the truth. And his client has been lying to everyone from day one, and she got caught. So I understand he's in this morass that he decided to stay in, but other lawyers didn't. Other lawyers who were representing her, they jumped ship. And that's probably what he should have done, because he, to me, is very dangerously close to suborning perjury with the way he has defended her. And just, throwing out evidence of her lies and claiming that it doesn't matter whether she lied. And people perjure themselves all the time. That was probably one of my favorite defenses he gave. So what if she committed perjury? I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, and then he goes, I wish they would charge people with perjury more. And I just added my Curb Your Enthusiasm. Like, we do too, Gingras. Let's come back to this video. This is where you like save the time code. This might be an interesting video while we report from your client getting put away in prison.
I thought that
And
little part was fair.
speaking of, Rachel Mitchell was reelected to the county attorney's position in Maricopa County. Please remember to keep tagging her in your tweets and request nicely and civilly and respectfully that she not forget about this important investigation. Because if we want people like Laura Owens to stop trying to, take down men with false pregnancies, fake cancers, fake stories, whatever, and stop perjuring themselves in court and using the justice system as a weapon, well, then she has to be made an example out of. And that will not happen if Rachel Mitchell does not press charges. And that's still up in the air. Let's keep the pressure on so that they understand that the public cares about this.
And Megan, I don't mean to dangle this in front of your audience because I can't share it, but in the private chat, you'll see that Laura's not learning her lesson, and there's still things going on that are super diabolical that are
Jesus.
continuing. Yeah. And it's stuff that's not out there yet that we're going to have to continue to just press because people's lives are being affected.
I can't even believe that. That's ridiculous. That really makes me upset. That's awful. Oh my God. I don't even know what we're going to do about that, but it will be dealt with.
We'll deal with that later. But yeah, so multiple of these guys are still dealing with her antics. So
that is terrible. That's terrible.
But hey, get ahead of it. Get ahead of it, Gingras. Keep making YouTube videos while your client continues to, really stink up a lot of people's lives.
Yeah.
I hope that information was given to the county attorney, by the way.
I'll check.
Just make sure that gets sent over to her because that's big.
Yeah. And a lot of people are focused on this perjury, but I think beyond perjury, I'm not a lawyer, but I think there's other avenues for these prosecutors to look at, other opportunities, right?
Um, I would
Well,
think so.
extortion. I mean, extortion, and you look at. I mean, it's different than the Trevor Bauer case because the extortion's not clear cut, but she's definitely trying to, get him to drop the case by threatening lawsuits. And
Yeah, and
again,
that
who knows what
$1.3
else they
million
found?
number.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean,
altering
like
evidence, Chase J. Jones court filings.
I mean, what I've said
It seems
is,
to me very suspicious.
with my sources is that these investigators, for all we know, they've tapped her phones. I mean, here's the thing. I don't think she's got anyone to call. I mean, she just goes into the casita and talks to her mom. Does she do phone calls from the casita to her living room? Maybe. I don't know. But, we don't know. We just don't know what they have. But it feels to me as though the indictment's inevitable.
It's starting to feel that way to me too. I have a feeling that Rachel Mitchell was waiting on the results of the election before she were to go forward, because I think it would be difficult if you had this announcement of certain things you were going to be going forward with, and then you lose an election, and then what happens to those? I think it's better that she held off and waited on that, and we'll see. But I had a feeling that's what she was waiting for. So I would expect to hear something soon-ish. Hopefully, but we'll see.
I think what probably I'm going to do is, once I'm comfortable with this, like I said, this is not filed yet. It's ready to file. I've got it ready to go. I could click submit and be done in 5 minutes. I happen to like, sleeping on things, thinking about it, going back and editing. As you've seen, you call it dirty deleting. I call it just thinking about things.
No.
Again, he doesn't understand what dirty deleting means. Dirty
Yeah.
deleting does not mean writing something, sleeping on it, going back and editing it. Dirty deleting means publishing something and then going back in and taking things out, like he did with the obituary comments when he got called out on saying we were cockroaches and he was going to have us, read our obituaries before he threw them in the trash. Then he goes in and deletes that and pretends like it wasn't there, like we don't have screenshots. That's a dirty delete.
Calling people special ed. Yeah.
Yeah. The dirty deleting means you already put it out there, and like Laura does with all her Medium articles, where she goes in and edits for hours and hours after publishing, and we can put them side by side and see all the things she deleted and added and deleted and added. That's silly. If you're going to do that, don't publish until you're done editing. And then if you're going to make a change after you've published, we have a thing we do in the journalism business where we alert the audience to a correction or a change that we have made in that article. Even if it's something as simple as I misspelled Dave Neal's name in paragraph 2. We don't just change it. We put a little note on the top that says, this article has been edited to reflect the proper spelling of Dave Neal's name. It's
Or
that
if you have
simple.
the 5th edition of a textbook versus the 4th edition, you can still go get the 4th edition. It's all transparent, right? Or a novel, the 2nd edition. You may want to change things. It's fine. It's just be open and transparent about it. Be honest about it. I think that's the difference.
I think
Yeah,
he's
he
genuinely
doesn't-
surprised that the audience has been able to hold him accountable for every word he said. And I think in the past, he's been able to kind of just dance around the threats and the this and the that and play that game. And it's just like, that's not the game you play online in 2024. You got to be impeccable with your word. We should probably buy him the book, The 4 Agreements. He might benefit from it.
Yep. I have that book. It's a good book.
I'm going to take some time and make sure that I'm comfortable with this. Laura and I have been talking as recently as today about adding things, taking things away. A lot of stuff goes into this, believe it or not. But I also want to put out some little video telling you guys basically some accurate information about what's not going to be in here, because I know the haters are dying to know, is Laura ready to reveal the truth? Is she going to produce the 24-week sonogram?
I think we all know the answer to that. There isn't one. So no, she isn't going to produce anything. And no, she is not going to finally tell the truth. But it's interesting that he even says that. Is Laura finally going to reveal the truth? So you're admitting that she has been lying this entire time.
Well, I think he's just parroting the sort of commonplace questions he gets on Twitter. And I think a lot of people on Twitter, they're not lawyers. They don't understand when you do an appeal, you're limited to the scope of what happened in the court case, correct?
Right.
You can't add new evidence. You can't
Right.
answer new questions potentially. So he's just trying to separate these two ideas here I don't know how well he's doing, but I think that's what he's going for.
Yeah, perhaps. And I also to me, the way he put that was just very damning. Is she finally going to tell the truth?
Yeah,
Like,
and this whole thing,
no.
like the haters, like he just generalizes and lumps people into these disparaging categories, and it doesn't help us trust him or, get past his words because he's just sort of these rude things pop in.
And we've never said, I mean, no one here hates Laura Owens. Like we've said it a million times. We cannot say it more that we want Laura to get help that she needs. We want her to face accountability for what she's done. Nobody here wants anything bad to happen to his client. We want her to get well and we want her to repair the damage that she's done. But this is, it's, and we can't say that.
We can only speak for ourselves.
Yeah,
I mean,
we've said that so many times, but
maybe
there
is
no
somebody
hatred.
out there that hates her legitimately, but I can't do anything about
I would
that.
imagine her victims don't feel real positive about her, especially if she's continuing her behavior towards them, and that would be completely justified.
It's not a group to lump everyone in.
No, but it's using these words like hate and cult, and this is just it's all very inaccurate.
Blah 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 blah.
Blah, blah,
Regardless
blah,
of
blah,
all that, that is not how appeals work. That is not how
appeals
I'm
are for
allowed to approach this
losers.
thing.
You've heard the term "coffee's for closers." Appeals are for losers. Okay.
Well, yeah. And I mean, he comes out and he's like, "We're totally going to win this," and other people are like, "Well, we think he won't win it." But I was listening to Lawyer about the Delphi case, and he was like, "Look, on a statistical basis, statistically significant numbers, if you're going to bet, you bet against the appeals because that's the statistical play to make money. On a case-by-case basis, it's hard to predict because it's not a statistical event."
Yeah, but generally, no lawyer wants to find himself in the position of having to file an appeal because that means he lost. So, and all the lawyers that I have spoken to and who have covered this case, we have all been correct every step of the way on how the judge was going to rule against him on his motion for lunch, to compel lunch, and his motions for extensions that he didn't deserve, and all sorts of things. We said, we don't think this is going to fly, and sure enough, what did we get?
Denied. Sit down.
Over and over again, this guy's been denied, and we saw that coming. So now when he's about to go in and he's going to try and insult us and our intelligence and the lawyers that we know by saying we don't know anything and he knows it all. Oh, there's Legal Vices. Legal Vices says it's almost like I know what I'm talking about sometimes. Yeah. Legal Vices has called it regularly on this case. I don't think Legal Vices has been off at all on.
I love him. Of course,
I know, me too. I love Jeff. We have to read the appeal before we can give our opinion on it. Of course, we're not going to say, I can't say right now what I think will happen with this appeal. Although, because I know the facts of the case and he can only use what happened in the case, I don't think his chances of winning an appeal are very high. I think they're pretty low, as are most appeals in the first place. But we'll see. We will see. But he's about to try and insult us all here, including Jeff.
So when I file this, I'm going to do a video, probably not today, but I will do a video and I will sit and explain to you guys what we're trying to do. It's my cup of tea here. With uncle pictures. I won't zoom in too much because the haters don't need more memes.
Well, then why did you show us the mug? Don't use a mug with pictures of your family on it if you don't want anyone to see them. And by the way, that's not what we made the memes out of. We need more pictures of you in your shorts on your wife's shorts on vacation. That was what we were making memes out of, David. Nobody cares about your nephews and your nieces like that. Don't be ridiculous. We're not monsters. But again, don't show the internet something you don't want them to clip and use. Don't do that. That's a very bad idea.
But anyway, I want to tell you guys my perspective on why we're going to win. I mean, there's no way in hell that we're not going to win. I know some people commenting about this case have said,
there's no way in hell we're not going to win.
Yeah, that's the quote. Because that's not really a strong opinion statement. That's like I am certain of the facts. I am making a knowledge-based claim. Like, I don't know. Very strong.
There's no way we're not going to win. I think Legal Vices, thank you. No lawyer would ever say that. I mean, he is setting the bar for his client like so high. And what you want to do is set the bar pretty low, and you want to under promise and over deliver. You never want to be in a position as a lawyer where you're saying, we are for sure going to win. We have got this in the bag, because then if you don't, your client is going to think, did I hire a dumbass? Why did he tell me that we were going to win but we lost? Didn't he say the same thing about the trial? I feel like he did, Dave. Do you remember him saying he was so confident they were going to go in there and just kick ass at trial?
Yeah, and if you were just watching our video right now, you would think that they're suing us. Like you wouldn't. Has he mentioned Clayton's name once? They've done a good job of sort of shifting the focus away from how crazy it is that he got 2 blowjobs and she faked a pregnancy over it. Like, we have to remember to keep it simple with that. So whether or not he, circle jerks this Rule 26 thing to completion, I have no idea, but it doesn't change any of the facts that I've been arguing, which is that she's a con artist who scams these men.
Yeah, at some point, if he happens to win some portion of an appeal based on some technicality that he pulled out of his ass or out of the rule book, it will not change the facts of the underlying case. It won't change what the judge said. It won't change what the judge ruled. It will not overturn the judge's ruling. It will simply say that whatever this, technicality Rule 26 thing was, this motion was denied wrongfully or whatever, and be sent back. And really, what would be the thing that would happen? It would be sent back to be retried. It's not going to be overturned. It would be sent back to be retried, possibly. MG Law says, I hope he hasn't guaranteed that outcome to his client. That would be malpractice. Well, MG, he's saying it on a YouTube stream. So isn't that like a promise to his client?
I don't know.
It sure seems like it to me.
This appeal document is going to be 75 pages. I would love to see MG Law and Omar, the Tilted Lawyer, get together and review some or all of this appeal document. That would be amazing.
We will absolutely do that. I am sure. I'm sure they will. I'm sure that Jeff will go over it as well. I'll try and get Jeff to do it with me. That would be a lot of fun.
That'd be good
We haven't streamed in a while.
By the way, I'm gonna stay with you guys, but I'm just packing. I'm in my little hotel room here, but I'm flying back to Nashville tonight. If they do release this video today, I'm gonna live stream in the morning with it. But I don't expect that they've actually got a video coming out, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't either. I actually think that he's bluffing about the 2-hour video. He did a lot of things promising to go on somebody else's YouTube stream. I know he had conversations with Legal Vices, claiming that he was going to go on with him. He had conversations with Tilted Lawyer where he was going back and forth about that. And I don't think he ever intended to do any of that. I think that he's going to pick and choose the questions that he wants Laura to answer. I don't think it will be live Q&A. I think it will be, he even says here, it's going to be recorded. This is reminding me of, which is fine. Yeah, he shouldn't be putting her on anyway, because she's facing a criminal indictment, possibly. This is silly. It's silly for him.
My intuition is if they make a video, it's going to be sort of a rehash of these recent Medium articles, and that's going to be it. And we're not really going to learn anything new. We're not going to gain any insight into what was her mindset through all of this, which I think would actually be more interesting. I think Dave has mentioned this before, but a discussion not around the timeline or the details of the case, but more the mindset or the motivations.
Mm-hmm. Why I did it. Yeah, we'd all love that.
She's still, but she's never taken any responsibility and said, I actually did it. It's always somebody else's fault or autism's fault. And even the fact that she claims now that she has autism, it's like, well, so what are you saying? The autism, she still hasn't said the words, I lied because of my autism.
Right. The closest we've gotten from her is her admitting to lying to me, but to get her off her back. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. Just to a podcaster. Like, that's
just to the lead person who was sharing all the information.
You lied to the media is what you did. So
Gosh,
the media
I would pay money for the Ring camera footage of Gingras finding out that she did lie about that. You know what I mean? He must have been like, oh, fuck. They have evidence of her lying. Like I can, you know what I mean? It must just be like crazy as the hammer has dropped for him after all these threats. Because when he made all these threats, we didn't have the tangible evidence. We didn't have the Fiverr logo. We had some stuff, but not all of it. So I would have loved to see the face behind the scenes where he's talking to his wife going, dang, I'm fucked.
Legal Vices says we were going to discuss it after the Sarah Boone trial, but he started saying weird stuff on Twitter again, so I decided it was better not to. That was probably a good call, Jeff. I mean, I feel like he needs to learn that he can't get what he wants by being an ass. You know, him and his client have the same problem. They have very bad behavior. They're obnoxious, and yet they expect people to just turn around and do whatever they want whenever they want. So it's good to tell him no. Because he's obnoxious and he needs to stop it. All right, let's see what else he has to say here.
Oh, I told my lawyer friends, and they said there's no way that Laura could win, and Clayton's gonna.
No one has ever said that, by the way. No one has ever said. Oh, the lawyers have never said there's no way she could win an appeal. They've said it's an uphill battle, and they don't think so. You know, but again, we need to read the appeal before we can give you. And he's trying to conflate two different things.
You know, even if someone's literally said, there's no way in hell he can win this appeal, he literally just said the opposite 30 seconds ago. So now he's angry that people are doing the same exact thing he just did 30 seconds ago. And to me, that's a double standard, which I don't appreciate.
Yes. No, I don't appreciate it either. And also, what's with his, he's conflating two things. He's conflating the trial coverage and the appeal, which no one has read yet. Nobody has commented on the appeal except to say appeals are for losers and it's going to be a tough road for him. That I think is very fair to say. Appeals are difficult across the board. Appeals are not where you want to be. You want to win at your trial. Now, some of the lawyers did say, we don't see a win here at the trial. We don't see a win for her. With these facts are bad for her. Everybody said that. And they were right. So I don't know what he's complaining about, but he's conflating stories and he's making things up. No one has commented on his appeal because no one has read it.
Win, folks, that's just gaslighting, and it's if you're telling that kind of story, you don't know what you're talking about, or you're not telling your friends all the facts. So I have all the facts here. I'm going to make the legal arguments to the Court of Appeals, and I don't see any chance in hell that Clayton walks away from this thing winning. He had a very, very unique trial experience with a judge that he should not have had, as far as what Mata did and what she didn't do. There's a small update on that, by the way. Again, it's probably too much of a conversation to have for vlog number 1. But I do want to share some news about where things stand with Mata, what's going on there. And you know what? My cat just wants to make an appearance. Yes, Aurora, say hello.
This is
So, by the way, if anyone's counting, there's now 2 pussies on camera. By the way, I gotta go. I'm late for my flight, but I just posted my video. So after your stuff, if anyone wants to see me,
yes,
and all that. But thanks again, guys, for all that you guys do. You guys crush it, and Dave. Everyone make sure to go continue to support them for keeping on their foot on the gas here.
And we will definitely, I will post your video in the chat, send everybody over there after we're done here. And we can't wait to see it, Dave.
All right, guys, take care.
See ya. All right.
This
so
is wild because he says,
I love this cat. I love this cat. This is where this is where the video gets good. I would like to welcome Aurora to YouTube. I think Aurora needs her own channel.
Oh.
I do have a channel name picked out that I think will be, but you're going to need to see the cat first before you will get it.
Hello, everybody. Anyway, lots and lots of things to talk about. Today is not the time. I just finished this thing. I'm tired. The cat's hungry.
The cat? No shit. The size of this cat. So the name of the channel should be Aurora Eats David Gingras Out of House and Home.
Maybe.
He's gonna be homeless because this cat is eating everything in sight.
To be fair, this is what my cats do. They get up on the desks when it's like, oh, is it dinner time? And when the daylight savings time thing, the clock changes, they don't know. So they're like, I need the food now, sir. And I'm like, look, the clock just changed.
We need to invite Aurora trucking with us. Absolutely. The cat is the best part of the video. And wait, it gets better because the cat is going to start licking itself.
Wants her dinner. But tomorrow, like I said, Laura and I have about a 2
Nothing better than cat ass just right at the camera while you're trying to have a serious conversation.
hour time window blocked off to talk about the case. Hopefully answer some questions. I'd like her to do a live video. Tomorrow's not going to be live. We're going to tape it. But
I hope that's not my court filing the cat's sitting on.
That cat is just licking itself all over his filings.
The cat's going to walk out of the room with Post-it notes stuck to it.
video. I want her to answer JFC questions. I'd like to answer JFC questions.
No, you don't. You are a liar. You don't want to answer anybody's questions. We have tried to ask you the questions. You always ignore the questions we want. Look, right here, the cat's going to make the face that I used in the thumbnail.
I think
There it is. That cat has the biggest mouth I've ever seen. It reminds me of the Instagram video of the cat mowing its food, like just mouth wide open and just like jamming it in there. That's why I made the cat. Have you seen my thumbnail?
I think I did very quickly. Yeah, that's
All right. Well, let's bring that up so that you can really appreciate it.
oh geez. This is high quality.
The cat, I know, I'm getting better at this, aren't I? I mean, I feel like my thumbnails are really, we're stepping up our thumbnail game. So I have this vision of Aurora just eating David Gingras. Like, he better not die in his house because this cat is going to eat him for sure. For sure. The cat is going to eat David Gingras. So he needs to make sure he keeps that thing fed.
Yeah, if I keeled over, my dogs would just sort of wander around and be sad. My cats would immediately start eating my appendages. Yeah, 100%.
Oh, it's terrible. Oh, God, this cat is so fat. You know, Legal Vices, if you don't interview this guy with the cat anywhere near the dogs, because I have a feeling that this cat could eat Strawberry and Yoda if left alone. Don't mix the cats and the dogs. This cat scares me a little.
I've been pretty open and available to people. If anyone,
you blocked me the first day I asked you a question, sir. Then you told me not to email you ever again.
Yeah,
every time I've tried to ask this guy a question.
Yeah. There's a lot of questions that are unanswered on Twitter, I've noticed. And the other thing is he lumps it all into, again, JFC questions. Like, individuals have questions. Like, there's no committee forming questions.
Okay, I just got an email back from David Gingras.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to read it to you.
Oh,
Megan,
dear.
1, it's a numbered list. It's impossible. Wait a minute. It's impossible to prejudge whether something is infringing, especially something I've never seen. Number 2, I'm sure you know the rules of fair use. So as long as you stay within the fair use limits, you have nothing to be concerned about. Well, I do understand fair use, David, so I think we're good. I think we're okay. My intention here is to simply respond to your video. I've also sent people to your channel. I've told them they can subscribe if they would like to and make sure they click on your video.
I made a 1-hour video last night at midnight, so...
I mean, I think he wanted us to comment on this. I don't think he didn't want us to do this. Number 3, I don't submit copyright complaints to YouTube for my own works, or at least I haven't done so in the past. Okay. 4, to be totally honest, it does feel unfair to me when JFC YouTubers sit and read my briefs on a monetized channel. My briefs are creative works that I spend a lot of time and effort on, and it's annoying to see people sitting and making money by just reading my stuff on YouTube. Well, David, you have a channel. You can read your works on YouTube too, and you can make money if you get your subscribers up and your hours up, but you have to be consistent.
Wait,
no one wants to take that from you.
Once you submit a court filing or file a court case, it's public domain, right? You don't have intellectual property rights at that point. I mean,
no, you don't.
So I can understand how he has these feelings, but I don't know what to do with them.
Well, he does go on to say, but I am
court system.
He says, but I am pragmatic and I'm 99.9999999% sure a judge would agree this qualifies as fair use. So I just grin and bear it. Okay.
What?
So you get it. But I do understand that feeling. You've worked on something for like a really long time and like you love this thing that you did. And then it feels like it's out of your control. I mean, I'm a writer. I know how that feels. People read my articles on other streams and whatever, but you don't see me filing copyright because that would be stupid. That would be ridiculous. I would prefer more people read it. So number 5, he says, if you want to sit and play my video and react to it or comment on it, you have my permission to do so. In copyright parlance, that's called a non-exclusive license. Well, thank you so much, David, for that. I appreciate the definition. I'm not going to flag you for this. On the other hand, that's not a license to spread false information. And that is a much bigger concern than anything copyright related.
Okay.
Bottom line, just be honest if you can, and you'll be fine. All right.
I mean, the problem is if you
David,
think
I've always
somebody,
been honest.
yeah, if you think somebody has made a video or done a blog post or posted on Reddit, something that's false, go screenshot it, timestamp it, quote it, and refute it with better evidence.
Yeah, he never does this, but
Yeah.
he accuses us of telling lies. Yet he has accused me of telling lies, but he doesn't say specifically what those lies are. David,
Yeah.
if you want to come at me, bro. Go ahead. I want you to gather the things that you think I've said are lies and not opinion. Now, remember, it can't be just my opinion of things. It must be things that are lies. And then we can have an exchange back and forth about why I believe that thing or what and where I got my evidence for it. But you never do that. You just say we lie. You don't.
Maybe somebody got something wrong because
right.
they were in
Possibly.
a hurry. They just
Well, there were times when I've made mistakes in this covering in stuff in this case, and I've gone back and corrected myself. That's different than lying, though. That's just a mistake. That's what you would call a Scrivener's error or something. If you're writing, it would be like that. I don't know what you call it when you're speaking.
But to learn and repair it, we have to be able to independently verify it.
And when we have called your client a liar, we have showed you verifiable proof that she did lie, and none of our claims of her lies have come without any evidence, but your claims about us lying have come without evidence. So if you would like to have that conversation, go ahead, make a video about the lies you think that we've told, and then we will respond in kind. I mean, we can have this conversation and we can have it like adults. We don't need to, throw insults at one another. And I think that you would do much better, David, to talk to people just in your own voice, like you're doing right here. This makes me hate you less. It just does. It just, your approach on Twitter and in your blog is so offensive that you should never do that ever again. You should always just talk to people in your own voice because it's just better for you.
If I just compare him at the June 10th hearing, and if I set aside the 911 call, of course.
Right. Oh God,
it's
that
almost
was so bad.
It's almost like his blog and his Twitter account and his demeanor at the June 10th hearing are two different people.
Yeah. Well, but I've heard this from people who've interacted with him in person, that they've had these in-person interactions where they really like this guy and they think that he's a really personable, charismatic kind of guy. And then he emails them and they're like, holy shit, what's wrong with this guy? Like, I'm not sure what happens between the time when he is speaking to you in person and then when he goes back to his computer, if he's just been holding all that in and then it comes out like word vomit on a page. But you got to get that looked at, David. It's not good. It's not good. You should talk to somebody about it because it's weird. It's weird. And just be normal. Just be normal and talk to people. We'll talk to you. You can talk to us. It's fine. But you can't go around threatening people with bar complaints and homelessness because they don't agree with your client. It's weird. It's unprofessional. And you should stop that. You should quit that.
Calls me or texts me. I'm not rude to you if you're not rude to me.
Oh, bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on that. I'm not rude to you if you're not rude to me. David, I tweeted you a question in the first 3 days when you took the case. You said, Does anybody have any evidence of her lies or whatever? And I'll drop off the case. My tweet to you was a very respectful, nice tweet saying, here's some questions I have. And I listed them. And you immediately blocked me. And then you referred to me as someone who lies. That is not what I would call not being an asshole right away, because you were. You never tried to have a conversation with Dave Neal. You just started threatening him with homelessness. You're threatening me with lawsuits. You're threatening Tug with wanting us to die and stuff and read our obituaries. And like, why? Because we called you an internet lawyer, which is what you actually have in your bio, internet lawyer. Because we said you've got a tramp, you might have a human equivalent of a tramp stamp, because you kind of are. I mean, but that we didn't start this crap. Like he's pretending like we started this.
Well, I don't think it matters who started it. To me, it strikes me as conditional, contractual, like the dating contract almost. You better be nice to me or I won't be nice to you, right? Or whatever it is, this sort of conditional speech, which is not good for relationships. Why not just be nice to people regardless of how they are? Why not
Regardless.
just be the better person? Is that so hard?
Yeah, I don't, it must be for him. I think he has difficulty with it. I think he has sandbox issues. I think he doesn't play well with others. And this has probably been going on since he was a small child. And that's sad that, some kids don't, especially those of us Gen Xers, we're in that generation that didn't get therapy for anything. There was no therapy. You got smacked with a wooden spoon if you had issues, and that was, or a leather belt, and that was it.
I mean,
And
the school guidance counselors were not therapists. That's for sure. In Gen X,
no.
that's for sure.
There were no 504 plans to help the ADD kids and the kids with autism or anything else. There was nothing to help us. You either passed or you failed, and nobody gave a shit. So if he was having social problems on the playground, teachers did not intervene. Like I had social problems on the playground, and oh God, it was horrifying. And they just didn't care. They were just like, well, toughen up. Sticks and stones, man.
Let's talk.
Happened? Sticks and stones may break your bones, but names will never hurt you. I heard that so many times. They just didn't care. And so you just learn to get either beat up on the playground or you fight back. You just make it through school. And I'm sure he had difficulties. I'm not saying he didn't. He probably did. But nobody was going to be there to help him with that. So unfortunately, David, you get to a point, though, as an adult where if you're still having these problems, you should seek out that help yourself and solve the problem. I had that problem for a long time. I still kind of have, like, I don't know. There's always something that will happen with people in real life where I'll say something and I don't even know what it was, and they just won't never speak to me again. And I just always think, whatever happened to that person? And I think I offended them in some way, and I don't even know what it was. So, it happens. So I just limit my time with people in real life. I just kind of I stay away from the sandbox because I have sandbox issues. So it's probably not a good profession for him to be in a profession where he has to deal with a lot of different people in a lot of different ways of communication when he's not that good at it.
Yeah, I think it's been very ill-advisable to do the legal side of this, to be a lawyer and do PR. I think it's not a
That's
good
always a
thing.
bad idea. I mean, Bruce in the What the Hell's case is doing the same thing, and it's really it's working out horribly for him. It's not going well at all. The PR,
Yeah.
being a PR and a lawyer at the same time is a very bad idea, and I don't even think it's very ethical. I think Gingras here has done. I will give him credit that he's done a little bit better of a job at it than Bruce. And the only reason
Yeah.
why I say that is because Gingras seems to know there is a line he can't cross, and he will go right up to that line. He will literally stand on the line, but he'll basically be like, "I'm not crossing the line. I'm not crossing the line."
Right.
But Bruce has no lines. Just none. There's he just goes and goes and goes.
Yeah.
Is that Kimberly Edkin wants to know, is that a toupee? From this angle, it does look a little strange, but I've seen him in person, and I'm going to say, I don't think so. If it is, it's really good. I don't know. Bruce, do you have any thoughts on this?
I don't really care what he looks like or what he wears or what he does. I'm just interested in the information and trying to
Also, I
learn.
agree. I agree, but I mean, I do talk about hair on this program, so this is clearly in my wheelhouse. And I
Yeah.
will say this though, I have seen pictures of him as a young man,
Mm,
and he has a lot of hair. Like
yeah.
this is a guy with a lot of hair. I would be very surprised if he lost all that hair. So I'm gonna go with no. I'm gonna go with I think this is real. I think this is just a bad angle, and he appears to be a little sweaty. So his hair is like maybe a little wet and it's just not laying right. But I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think that's his hair.
Having said that, Laura has also been, like I said, been through hell. She's probably not in the best headspace to put herself out.
I mean, if that is a rug, they are making them so much better now. I mean, the hairline, it's look at the hairline. It's incredibly good. So no, I don't, it would be like Hollywood level if that were the case.
Do you think he does the castor oil in the hair like Dave Neal?
Maybe he does.
That's
look
the only thing I know about hair. I don't.
It looks a little greasy. Yeah, but it could just be that Arizona weather. It's hot there.
Out there fully. She's still dealing with a lot of shit. I mean, this Rachel Mitchell thing hanging over her head. I don't think Rachel Mitchell's going to do anything. I've been involved in tons of cases where people have been accused of perjury.
Cat's still going at it. That cat is just like, I'm going to start eating myself if you don't feed me soon. And then you're next.
On video, perjury 1,000 times worse than what Laura's accused of. I've never seen anybody charged with perjury. It just doesn't happen. I wish it did.
You do? Don't be careful what you wish for, sir. Be careful what you wish for. Because if anybody, if any case ever called for prosecution, this is it. This is the one.
Yeah, and I don't know what lab equipment I need to buy to figure out if one instance of perjury is 1,000 times worse than another. That seems very
Yeah, how are
subjective.
we how are we rating these cases of perjury exactly? How are we putting them on a scale of from 1 to 10 of which one is worse? You're still lying to the court. A lie is a lie. And this one was pretty egregious. Lying to a court about you being pregnant for bringing this action in the first place and using the court system as a weapon. I think that's one of the worst cases of perjury I've ever heard of. Ever. It's not like saying it's not like lying about your alibi or something. I mean, I guess that to me it's worse to mislead the court about why you brought an action in the first place. You know, I think it's a little, I frankly think her type of perjury is worse, but that's my opinion.
But anyway, that's not a discussion for today. All I want to tell you today is our brief is done. I'm ready to go. Laura's ready to go. We are going to try to have a comprehensive, maybe 2-hour, maybe more, maybe less video done tomorrow. I'd like to get that out and released. I'm going to put it on my YouTube channel because all 120 subscribers need to know.
Okay, I like the self-deprecating humor. I like that. I think that's funny. And also, don't worry, David. Everybody has to start somewhere. If you really are interested in doing YouTube, like we said, consistency is key. You can't say maybe. You have to keep putting content up every day, and the algorithm will work for you. But if you don't put stuff up every day, forget about it. But I mean, live streaming is a lot easier than recorded videos as far as actually getting them up there. I think that David would be good at live streaming, to tell you the truth, but I don't think he wants his client on a live stream. That would be a bad idea. I don't even think he should do a recorded video of her. And I like
Right.
Dave Neal. I don't think he's going to. I think this is part of him stringing us along and, making people think this is going to happen. But it would be a really weird move for a lawyer to put his client, who is currently facing a possible criminal charge or charges, to let her speak about this.
We can't really recommend it, even though if we were to gain some more insight into the mindset, I think it would be interesting, but we can't recommend it. I think it would be interesting for him to maybe go over his appeal document in more layman's terms. That might be interesting.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
the other thing for a channel.
why isn't he?
Yeah.
Why isn't he doing that? He's complaining that we're doing it. Why isn't he doing it?
I think he said he's going to once it's on the docket, right? It's just the appropriate time to do that.
Okay. Yeah.
That's fine. And then long term, I think you would need a strategy, because you don't want to start a YouTube channel and go over your own cases. I think you want to do a YouTube channel and go over cases that aren't your cases, right? That makes more sense.
Absolutely. I actually think it's a strange thing for him to be going over this case because he's on it. I don't know any lawyers who would do this. I know several lawyers. I've never seen one of them want to talk about active litigation. Even my sister, she's got this case that she wants me to read, but I keep asking her, like, well, when can we read it? And she's like, well, not yet. I'm in this stage, or I'm in that stage, or she wants me to read it, but it's too difficult when you're currently in it. You don't want the other side to come in and be like, why is this attorney blasting this all over YouTube and it's not even concluded yet, So
Yeah.
it is a little strange. I think after it's all over, it's perfectly fine for lawyers to kind of do an autopsy on their own cases, but it is strange to do it during litigation.
Yeah, because the fourth wall comes down, and we saw, Greg Woodnick had to talk about it in his filings, right? And suddenly, like, you're part of the story, not talking about the story.
Right. That's where it becomes in the Maya Kowalski case, for instance, we were able to connect with Maya Kowalski's attorneys after the verdict. They did not want to speak before the verdict. In fact, they never responded until the verdict came in. And then they did their media tour, and we did speak to them, and they still ended up in the appeal. All of our channels ended up in the appeal. It really does create a kind of a mess for them. And this is one of the reasons why you see lawyers doing short interviews on court TV, and they'll only give a short statement or a written statement during litigation. You don't ever really see them sit down for any long form interviews, because it's fraught with danger. It can be brought into the case. It can be brought before the judge. And then, it just gets messy. It gets messy. I hate being named in filings. I hate it. It's my goal to stay out of all filings. I just made it into another one in Florida now. I'm just like, oh God, when will it stop? These, that Bruce decided to put us in no, was it Bruce? No, it was Jeremy's counsel. In his motion to disqualify, the judge listed some of our videos as evidence. So, I'm glad on one hand that I could help bring attention to the fact that a judge is behaving badly. But on the other hand, it makes me very uncomfortable to become any part of the case when I really just want to report on it. I want to report on the case. I don't want to be dragged into a case. So, yeah.
Beyond that, I'm probably going to not tweet much more about the case. Tweeting is just bullshit. In fact, I'd like to get off Twitter. Elon Musk, you can SMD.
Oh, you know what, David? It would have been funnier if you had just said "suck my dick." That would have been funnier. Just go ahead. It's YouTube. You're allowed to say the adult words. And SMD is just too teenage for me. It's just too Gen Z. What are you doing with the SMD? You don't even know what that means, do you? I feel like you could just say "suck my dick" and everyone would have laughed. But he wants Elon Musk to suck his dick. I have a lot of thoughts on that.
Seems like a tangent. Yeah. Like,
Get a
I feel
room,
like
David. Get a room.
I feel like Twitter isn't working out for him because he shouldn't be doing PR, and he has a very negative demeanor on Twitter, and he doesn't
Yes.
answer all the questions. It has nothing to do with Elon Musk. Elon Musk isn't asking him questions about this case on Twitter.
It is. I love how he likes to blame everybody else except himself. It's Trump's fault. It's Elon Musk's fault. It's like the hashtag. Yes, it's hilarious. Like the hashtag. Yes, SMD is like hashtag. We should do hashtag SMD.
Right? I mean, I'm sure
David,
there's things he can take issue with.
You're my age. You're my age. Stop
there's
using
things
young
he could
people's
take issue with against Elon Musk or whatever. Like, I think billionaires shouldn't exist or something like that. But that's a tangent, right? Like, it doesn't have
That has
anything to do with
nothing to
this.
do with his Twitter behavior.
Yeah.
All Elon has done is built a platform, David, where you can express yourself freely, which you have done. And now you're saying it's not working out for me. It's all his fault. Why? Because he's not censoring you. He's not censoring you, or I don't know. I don't know what. So he didn't save you from yourself. Yes. Here we go. Hey, Joe. Hashtag SMD.
Oh boy.
I mean, my God. Hey, have all 758 of you hit the like button? You better have hit that like button when if you're in here. That like button is very important and it helps the algorithm. Please make sure that you do hit it. Oh, I forgot to turn the monetization on. I always do this, so be prepared. You're going to get a commercial in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, you'll come back in a couple of seconds. Don't worry. But yes, I do have to put these in. I have to monetize it because otherwise I'm leaving money on the table, and
Sure.
we don't want to do that. And that's another thing, David Gingras. Don't leave money on the table. You know, that's your first rule of YouTube. Don't leave money on the table. So if you have a problem, like you said in your email to me, and by the way, thank you for not being horrible in your response to me like last time. I appreciate the civility. But if you're feeling bad that other people are making money by reading your filings, well, don't leave money on the table. You should be doing that. There's nothing stopping you from reading that one or other cases that you're interested in. You know, there's a whole world out there for snaky lawyers on YouTube to give their opinions, and people will watch it. You know, just check out LawTube. There's all kinds of terrible lawyers out there reading stuff and getting rich off of it. There's some good ones too, but there's all kinds of lawyers. There's good ones, there's bad ones, there's medium good ones and medium bad ones, and just like journalists, medium smart ones, like Bruce, medium ugly ones. You never know what you're going to get on YouTube, but there's a place for everyone is what I'm saying. There's a place for everyone. Okay. Did you hit the like button though? I don't think you did. Only 432 likes. We're not going to move on with this. I'm going to talk about my hair until we get more likes.
Oh my.
So I spent all this time like straightening my hair the other day. Which I don't do very often, but I did. And it turned out okay. But then that same day, I had to go to a festival that was outside. And wouldn't you know, it was misting. So by the end of the day, so if this gets wet, by the way, it will just start going out and out and out and like losing its straightness and just becoming frizzy. So like by the end of the day, it was just a total mess. And I had to do it twice. So now I've had to straighten my hair twice, which is unpleasant. I know you don't have these hair problems, do you? You just wash and go.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but the hair talk will not cease until we're at least 500 likes, you guys. Come on. You got 774 of you here. You can get up to 500 likes. Oh, by the way, YouTube deleted 300 of my subscribers just in one day. Gone. And I don't believe that they left because of my election victory lap stream. That's what they wanted me to believe, but nobody left a comment, a snarky "I'm leaving" comment. I don't believe that. I don't believe 300 of you left in a snit and nobody slammed the door on the way out. I know it was a YouTube thing. So please, if you think you've subscribed to this channel, go and look to see if you are still subscribed, because YouTube just deleted 300 of you overnight on the day after the election. Like, it was insane. I mean, just absolute nonsense. And in fact, there's some weird YouTube stuff going on here now, right now as well. There's like drops and rises, like dropping off 100 people and then coming back 100 people. It's very strange. All right, we're almost there. We're at 480 likes. Stop being lazy.
Gosh.
Use your thumbs are not broken. I know that you can do this. I know that you don't have broken thumbs. Like, what would the chances be of you sitting there with 2 broken thumbs? You could always use your index fingers to hit the like button. It's really, really easy. MG, did you lose a bunch of them too right after the election? Like, I was almost at 50,000 subscribers and now they've knocked me back down to 40. What am I at? 40. I might even be at 40. I was at 49 and I'm now down to like 48 something. And that was really shitty of them. They do this every time I get close to a milestone.
Yeah.
They will delete and they claim that they're cleaning out bots, but then they will make it so difficult for me to hit that milestone because they just keep deleting subscribers. So please make sure. I'm at 48.7 right now. Yeah, I was at 49. That's how many they deleted overnight. It was ridiculous. So make sure that you check your subscriptions. Check for all of your favorite YouTubers, by the way. All right, we're at 500 likes. Yes, good
Nice.
job. Good job. We can go back to the video. If David Gingras, if you're watching, there's some tips for you there on how to do your YouTube and get your algorithm up. You know, you can hold the chat hostage for a little while and make sure that they hit the like button if you want, or
Wow.
make sure they subscribe. It's a time-tested tactic here on YouTube. It works. Now, you might not be able to talk about your hair, but you could talk about what the hell you're feeding that cat, because that cat is very fat and chubby and cute. We like it. We like Aurora. I personally think Aurora needs her own channel, and Aurora's
Oh,
hilarious. I think you could make
yeah.
tons of money by letting YouTube watch Aurora eat food, because I bet she maws that food like it's her last meal. That's what I think.
Yeah. I want to see him play the guitar.
I know. He said he's going to do that. He should. He should. He should.
I might move over to Threads. Maybe I'll just get off social media.
That's a good idea, David. Get off social media immediately.
Is it really helpful? I don't know. I want people to have information. That's why I'm doing this.
So do it this way. This is way better, way, way, way better for you. I mean,
Oh boy.
really, in the grand scheme of things, do I care what people think of David Gingras? No, he's kind of made his own bed and now he has to lie in it. But boy, if he had done this from the beginning, I feel like he'd be in a whole different place right now.
Yeah.
I'm not a great vlogger. I don't think I'm, as fun to watch as other people maybe, but who knows? Maybe I can learn. Maybe I can sit and play my guitar for y'all. It's on that side, David.
Learning also the camera angle.
Oh,
That's a problem.
It's so hard. You're always like, look out the window. Oh
Look
wait.
out- oh wait. No,
So
wait.
are you?
Wait. I know, because it's backwards. Even when I want to fix something that I see in the camera, like my hair, I will always go to the wrong side first.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
It's so dumb.
100%.
It's so dumb. 100%. But yes, Gingras, you can learn to be entertaining. Frankly, I found this video to be pretty entertaining. I mean, the cat adds a whole level of entertaining that you just couldn't have had without it.
And, make a new career out of this, because clearly law's not working too well, is it?
Well, you
Wait
tell
a
us,
minute.
Greg.
I thought he was the greatest internet lawyer to ever grace our planet.
Conor McGregor of litigation.
He's the Conor McGregor of litigation, and now he says
The
his
Mike
law-
Tyson of Mike Tyson, Jake Paul boxing matches.
and now he says that his law career isn't working out. What did I miss? Did I miss something?
I don't know.
What do you mean Aurora's
Maybe he
not
can do a video
fat?
on that.
What do you mean Aurora's not fat? She's totally chubby. She's a great fat cat. I think she's fat. But I like fat animals. Fat animals are funny. And I'm surprised she could jump up on that desk, frankly. She should do some squats with us. Or not. She's a cat. She doesn't need to. She just eats for a living. And that's all she does is eat and sleep. I mean, if there is such a thing as reincarnation, I hope I come back as some rich person's cat. I mean, I can't think of a better
That's the
existence
life.
than sleeping on somebody's plush sofa in a sunbeam all day, like being fed whenever I want it, and like just wandering around chasing
Yeah.
small things. I think I would enjoy that.
Licking your balls on someone's court filings. Yeah.
Licking your balls.
I guess this is a lady cat.
Yeah,
But
just
could
not
be
giving a shit about anything. It would be great. MG Law says that cat is not fat. My cat is a chonk. I'm sorry, but this cat looks very fat to me. She is not fat. She is fluffy. Well, I don't know though. The way he keeps talking about how he's got to feed her immediately or she's going to start eating herself. I think she's fat. Stephanie B wants to be Bruce's cat. Jennifer Woodard says,
my.
"Don't body shame the cat." Hey Joe, thanks for the $5 super sticker, by the way. Fake Laura Owens, thanks to the 5. His video is like 7 minutes long. That's like 3 times as long as sex with him takes.
Oh boy.
But that's funny. Rogue Mama, thanks for the 2. I have missed Dingus, sick of Bubbles, right? I know. That's the other thing. He's come back at just the right time to give us all a break. Did he forget to remove the sticker from his headphones here?
I can't. It might be a light reflection on the metal between the top part of the headset.
No,
and the
it
bottom
says
part.
it says
where you adjust-
DG.
Where you
It
oh geez.
it literally says DG on it. I know you can't see that from here, but I
Oh
can because
yeah.
I have a huge.
I can see it now that
Why
you
does he
pointed
have
it out.
DG on
It's
his
like a Fiverr
headphones?
logo.
What?
Discovered though.
How do I zoom in on a YouTube video? Oh no, I can't. I can do it on my phone, but I don't seem to be able to do it on the computer. Oh, I could take a screenshot though, and I could zoom in on that. Let's do that. Let's see what it is.
Maybe he's one of these guys that gets a label maker and puts a label on everything.
Maybe. Yeah,
That'd be
that could
cool.
be. That could be. It could be that. Let's see. Let's share. Stop screen. Let's share this instead. There we go. Share. All right. Let's see what we're looking at here.
Oh boy. Anton enhance.
Enhance. That definitely is like a little label that says DG, and it's like around his. Why does he have like roommates who steal things and he has to label all of his shit?
I still think it's maybe just the, like, so if I take these headphones and I adjust how large they are for if my head was bigger or smaller, there's metal between the top leather part and the bottom plastic part. And
Oh,
so there's
maybe it's
metal.
engraved. Maybe he had it engraved with
Oh,
his
boy.
with his initials. Did he have the metal part of the headphones engraved?
This is like we have a photo of Bigfoot or something, and we're trying to figure it out like UFOs or something here. This is I don't know.
Look, I'm curious to know, David. This is a burning question. I need to know. Did you have it engraved? Is that something that we can do? Engrave our headphones? Should we, or is that a label maker? I don't know.
Only says DG is Dollar General.
Oh, could be. It also could be that. I could be reading way too much into it. It could just be a
Maybe.
tag from a store that just happens to say DG. It could be, but they wouldn't sell a headset like that at Dollar General, would they? That it couldn't be Dollar
not.
General. Is there another store that sells
no.
electronics that starts with a D and has a G in it? No, there isn't. Jill M's, thanks for the 5. Megan, go up a size and hooker needles for the top and bottom. That's it? That's all you do? But how do you get the stretchy part? Like, how do you make, there's no elastic in there? It just, okay. Somebody's going to have to explain this to me better. Fake Laura Owens, thanks for the 5. Hi, my name is Dave, and I use the all new Cialis Daily Patch. I don't know what that is. Sticky Widget, thanks
It's
for
like
the 5.
Viagra.
Oh, like Viagra. I mean, I'm not going to judge. We're getting older now. It just is what it is, It is what it is, folks. Thank God for medical science, I guess. Sticky Widget, thanks for the 5. Hello, Bruce from Oregon, not floating away in the torrential downpour, I see. Do you
It's
have
raining hard
bad
here
weather?
today.
You have bad weather there?
I mean, it's Oregon in the fall and winter, so
It just rains all the
It-
time.
it is
I
what
could
it is.
never live there because of that. I cannot deal. I get so depressed in the rain. I can't even tell you. I hate it so much, which is why I don't like my birthday being in April, because I never get a sunny day. Very rarely. I can remember like the one time I got a sunny day in April in Chicago. Mostly it's just raining and gray. And here it's a little better in New York because we have a lot more blue skies, but I do not like the spring, and I could never live somewhere that had that much rainfall. I would be so miserable. David Gingras, thanks for the 5. Thanks for covering my vlog. I will wait to see if I like your coverage before I strike you. Let's hope not. I'm going to take this as he gave me written permission. I am trying to follow it to, I'm following fair use policy. I'm not trying to upset him. I did reach out to him. So hopefully we'll be okay. Laura B, thanks for the $6 super sticker. I appreciate that. And by the way, Laura, sorry that you got hidden on this channel the other day. And, you do have my email, right? Because if that ever happens again, just let me know and I'll make sure to undo it. I don't know how that happened, but make sure you let me know. Pickled Tink, thanks for the 5. When I was in high school, I drank way too much Boone's Farm Tickled Pink, hence the name. College was a lot of tequila. That's funny, Pickled Tink. I used to love Boone's Farm also, but I don't remember the Tickled Pink. Why is that? I don't remember any of the names of these things. Probably because I have ADD so bad. I only have just so much room up here for things, and they just go right. Everything goes right out. except for the really important stuff.
Well, if you drink
Um,
enough of it, you certainly won't remember.
yeah, true. True. Boone's Farm was very popular when I was college age. Fake Laura Owens, thanks for the 5. Let's not use the words opening brief and my name in the same sentence. I only open my briefs for certain men I've pre-selected. So good. By the
my.
way, Bruce from Oregon, have
Yeah.
you read the new hay bales theory?
Oh, about the like, what is it? The workout training
Yeah.
certification and everything. I mean,
Did you
it definitely.
Can you send that to me? I don't know where that came from. Do you know where that is? And can you throw it in the private chat? Because if we have time,
Oh,
I want to go over that because I heard Dave
yes.
Neal read it and I was like going out of my mind. It is so possible.
Mhm.
And I
I'll
want to
I'll
read
try to
it.
find it here. Yeah.
All right, Slug Entertainment, thanks for the 2. I'm here for the daily cult meeting. I brought Legos. Wonderful. Wonderful. Good. You know how to show up to a cult meeting. Fake Laura Owens, thanks for the 5. Oh, he makes overtures. Yes, he does. Fake Laura Owens, thanks for the 5. More ass. Yeah, Gingras says that to me a lot. She is so funny. I love Fake Laura Owens. Photo Lady 12. Photo Lady 12 became a YouTube member. Welcome to the Fox Den. It's weird in here, but you will get used to it. David Gingras, thanks for the 5. You guys are brutal, by the way. How do I do a live? And Puzzled,
Wait.
thanks for the 20. Gingras and Ello want to rationalize and forget their own bad behavior. If you want to make people angry and biased against you, hire him. Liars keep doubling down. A gambler trying to win back their losses. I mean, it does feel that way, and I feel a little sorry for him because he picked the wrong horse, like Dave Neal said. He picked the wrong horse, and instead of getting out when he saw that it was going down, he stayed with it, and I that was a mistake. It just was. I see his. I can see that in other cases, he could be an asset to you. He could do things that would help out. This is not the case. This is just not the case for him. And we did give him a compliment. Legal Vice has pointed this out, and I stick to this because this is true. No other lawyer was able to get her to trial, and he did it. He got her to trial. But that's where it should have ended. That's where you should have told your client to accept her loss, put on her big girl pants. We did everything we could, and you lost. To continue this appeal and promising that she's going to win and all of this stuff is very dangerous, if you ask me. It's not good for her. It's
No.
not good for her mental state. I don't think it's good for her finances. I mean, I don't know if he's charging her or anything, or maybe he's doing it pro bono. I don't know. But I just feel like, yeah, congratulations on getting her to trial, but don't take it any further than that. I was still hoping that he wasn't going to appeal and like he would just talk her into accepting take the L. L. Lou, thanks for being a member for 2 months. Day off work, snuggles with my chitlin and a Megan Fox live. Oh, a great day. Jason Hipsher, thanks for the $1.99. I'm hoping he'll unblock me. I miss my friend. Puzzled Puzzler, thanks for the 5. Polo shirts can be buttoned, right? I think DG needs to keep outdoing his client to try to divert attention away from her because he can't control her. I do think a lot of his behavior has always been about diverting attention off of her and giving us something else to focus on. BK, thanks for the 20. I live very close to Destin in Pensacola, so I'd love to get to go to the court on the LMP and JC case. Laura Owens deserves to be in prison and have to make retribution out of anything she owns to be sold for money. BK, by the way, you are welcome to go to the federal court. You just need to show up on the date when the trial is happening and walk in as a member of the public, and you will be welcomed in. Fake Laura Owens, thanks for the 5. What's wrong with the cat licking itself? If I could, I would. Jason Hipsher,
That's
thanks
fair.
for you. Megan, you're going to prison with Diddy. Wrong Megan Fox, but I guess that's possible. Although
boy.
she's pregnant now. Ellie Fan, thanks for the 2. Can we not bring back shoulder pads? Just horrible. Agreed. We can do the 80s without the shoulder pads this time, and also without the Aquanet hair. We don't need that.
Megan, did you have like a high school senior yearbook photo shoot and all that with the big 80s hair? Have you shared that or?
I have shared it. Is it still in here? Hold on. I have it in my, I had a picture of it in my, but I did not have that big hair. Where are my photos? Let's see. Is
Because
it
that
still in here?
80s hair continued even into the early 90s.
It did, but I
Yeah.
was smarter than that when I had my senior pictures taken. So I
I see.
it looked very
Oh.
similar to this. I think I must have taken it out of here. It was on the board. Somebody who knew me in high school
Mhm.
sent me a snapshot of my high school, my senior photo.
Oh,
And I
nice.
had it in StreamYard for a while. I must have had to delete it because there were other things. But my hair actually looked very much like this, except without the layers. It was all one length and it was kind of curled in. So but it wasn't high or anything. By the time I hit my senior year, it was 1994, and we were more into the grunge era. And so
Yes.
the hair had flattened out quite a bit. I had
Mm.
like a rocker haircut for a while. I had like a lot of layers, like a Pat
Mhm.
Benatar kind of
Nice. Yeah.
deal. So that was in my senior pictures, it was very similar to what I have right now, actually, tell you the truth.
I went to one of these 10 or 15-year meetups for high school at a
Yeah.
restaurant or whatever it was. And this lady walks in and is talking to our table. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but I just don't know who you are. And she, there's a yearbook and she pulls it out and shows me her yearbook photo, senior photo. And she has the full 80s hair that's going all over and flock of seagulls and Aquanet and the hole in the ozone layer. And I'm like, and afterwards, 10 or 15 years later, she just has a haircut like you. And I'm like, oh, okay. Now I'm getting there.
Fake Laura Owens, thanks for the 5. I agree with Megan. A sandy box is bad. Yeah, that sounds
Oh, boy.
terrible. Bad Duck, thanks for the 5. He seems so triggered. I'm waiting for him to shave his head and cut off sex with men. Do you not know about this TikTok trend, Bruce?
What?
The women who are upset with the outcome of the election, a lot of them have decided to shave their heads and become unattractive to men, and they've sworn
Oh.
off sex with men. I wrote an article about it. It's on PJ Media. It's entertaining, to say the least. Although I don't like to watch people suffer. I'm not saying I find that entertaining. I don't like to watch people be sad. But it's probably not the result you want, is to make the dating pool better for conservative women. Like, maybe you don't want to do that. But maybe you do. Maybe you do want to give up men forever. That's okay. That's on you. Debbie
Not
Florio,
changing
thanks.
my day today.
No, Debbie Florio, thanks for the 5. I had a really funny comment, but YouTube won't let me use the P word for cat. Bummer.
Ooh.
Really? Well, just use something else. Say
Need
it
a different
again.
code word.
Look at me. Kitty? Just use the word kitty.
Oh boy.
Fake Laura Owens, thanks to the 5. Boone's Farm, if you drink enough, your pink will be tickled. All right, let's get back over here. We're almost done here.
I don't know. I don't feel that bad about it. I definitely think we're going to win the appeal. It's possible we may not, but once you read this, we'll see what you all have to say about it. That's my sign off for now.
Okay, so there's proof. He wants to know what we think about it.
Yeah.
We'll see what you think about it after you read it, So yeah, I mean, he's not putting this up there for nothing.
We are definitely going to talk more about this in the next coming days. I've just noticed that the Court of Appeals in Tucson is not very friendly when it comes to sharing documents. You can't get copies of things. They said you have to go down to the court, and I know you all will go down there and send a runner down there and pay your 50 cents a page. I'd probably save you the trouble because you're going to get this anyway.
Look at him playing nice. He's gonna.
Hasn't it always worked that way for this case?
Yeah, pretty much. And then we still send runners because some people don't want to put up the stuff that he's sending them.
Yeah, I mean, if the public court system has this mechanism through which the public can get public court documents, we should make use of it, because then we have confidence that the system works. We don't
And
need
also the
secret
system-
side channel documents.
Yeah, and also the system then is encouraged, that the public is using the system for what it was meant for.
Oh yeah.
And I think that it's important to keep using it. I agree with you. It's important to keep using the public access because that's the proper and correct way to do it.
Yeah.
Now I don't care if a lawyer wants to send me a filing that has been filed in court. I'll take it from them and save myself the trouble. It's just that you know, there were times when he was posting documents that had not been filed with the court, where we got into kind of you know, a morass there of like,
Mhm.
well, should we use this, or is he going to change it before it gets stamped by the clerk? Or, you know,
Yeah.
that's where it got kind of iffy for me, because I need it to be filed before I read it on stream, you know?
And the other thing with the doc runners is they're usually consulting and they understand the case and they know what to redact. For example, the MM1 details that he had put on Twitter that,
Oh, right.
somebody who
Right.
would have gone to that courthouse would have known to redact that.
Right. Right. We're better at that. That's another tip I would give you, David. Make sure YouTube does not look very kindly on any kind of address. Well, they call it doxing. We know it isn't if it's a public address or whatever, but you're not allowed to show addresses on YouTube, or phone numbers, or email addresses for that matter.
Mm.
So be careful if you're going to be reading it on stream. You don't want YouTube to come after you for that. So you have to redact things, even if they don't need to be redacted. Like, we know it doesn't need to be redacted. You do for YouTube. They have their own standards. That's just something you will learn. Even if it's your own address, you better just redact it, because somebody might report it and then they'll take it down. It's a whole thing. It's happened to me before. All right.
When I file it, Clayton's going to have a copy through Woodnick, so I might as well just share it with y'all. When that happens, I'm probably going to sit and read at least the first, 15 pages. Pages 1 through 15 are basically a summary of the facts of the case, and then the rest is all legal argument and so forth. I'd like you to hear it from me, so that you don't get the gaslight spin doctor version from some people I'm not going to mention. Like, have your opinions about the case. That's fine. Don't spread bullshit though, and don't.
He never says what the bullshit is.
Yeah.
Like,
It's-
if you
These are
really
like these
need to,
baseless claims with name calling, like spin doctors.
you really need to tell us what you think the bullshit is, so we can properly respond. Otherwise, it's just me going, I'm not spreading bullshit. I don't know what he's talking about.
Right.
If there is something specific that he is upset about that we have said, I would appreciate knowing what it is specifically.
Don't spread inaccurate information, which the JFC cult is just notorious for. They're horrific. Obviously, it pisses me off to no end. But then again, it's my fault. I should do a better job of telling you Laura's side of the story. So
That cat.
Funny. Note how then he goes on this angry diatribe and then says, well, it's really my fault for not telling the whole story. This seems like abusive to me, like somebody who is like abusing someone and yelling at them, and then they turn around and they're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, I'm sorry, you should forgive me.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
it's
I just get this
very
creepy
strange.
vibe
And by the
from
way,
this.
the JFC people who have been doing all the research, the Redditors, they deserve much better than this as far
Yeah.
as being talked about. They have done an amazing job researching, finding documents, finding things, finding patterns of behavior that Laura has behaved in, and putting together the victims, putting together their stories. All we've really done here is bring you what Reddit has found, and what these other, the flock and all these other Discord channels and whatnot, these people who are really interested in this case, who've done a really good job. And they've actually done so much. They've worked so hard to, for one, keep her name out of everything when that was a big problem. They redacted her name. They wouldn't even
Oh,
let
yeah.
my thumbnails be posted, because if I had a photo of her there, it was like blurred
Correct.
out all the time. They were so careful. They were so careful, much more careful than I was, much more as far as with, thumbnails and whatnot. I wasn't about to let her, intimidate me by using her name, not using her name, and all that other garbage. But they were very sensitive to that. And they were very sensitive to only posting things where they had evidence. This part is funny.
I'm going to feed my cat before she eats herself, and then we'll see where we are, tomorrow. Anyway, lots of love.
Before she eats herself or me, when she's going to.
Thank you for watching episode 1. I'll be in touch. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Oh, boy. Bye.
Okay. All in all, I mean, we didn't learn anything new. It's still empty promises. I don't know. I'm
He's close to his final draft. It's 75 pages long. His opinion is that they have a great chance to win this appeal.
Yep.
They might do a 2-hour video about something. That's what we learned.
That's what we learned. Ellie Fant says the cat is already eating herself. We were watching. Yes, we were, and
boy.
that was actually happening. So yeah, okay. Now maybe this is what David is talking about when he says, stop spreading bullshit. Maybe it's theories, but that's not spreading bullshit, by the way. So these are the thing I'm about to share with you is some really incredible research that Hay Bales, RJ, and Island Girl have done, and it's now it is a theory. It's not verifiable, but this is the kind of thing that, oh my gosh, it makes so much sense to me. And this case has been so crazy. Bruce, would you be surprised if what they found is accurate?
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, people love to look for patterns. I don't know. People love to look for a reason why, especially in these court cases. Like when some sort of senseless crime happens, right? People want to understand why it happened. And so I think a lot
They
of this
do.
is people working through what do we know for sure? And can that give us some hypothesis, ideas about why it's happening or things like that?
This makes so much sense to me that I couldn't believe it. As Dave was reading through it, I was just losing my mind. But here it is, a tinfoil hat theory. Laura began stalking Clayton in 2022. Questions and speculation from a fellow justice seeker. Now, before David Gingras gets upset about this, people have a right to have their theories and to speculate about some of this. And just so you know, right off the top, this is speculation. A lot of it cannot be proven. It is a theory. And this is, by the way, what detectives will do. If you are trying to crack a cold case, by the way, you want to go back and look at everything again and look closely at all the evidence you have. And you want to formulate an idea of what could have happened. And then you go and check stuff and see, did this happen? Can we prove it? Where do we look for the evidence? This is really some interesting stuff. But I'm putting it out there. This is just a theory. It's just a theory. And but it's a pretty solid theory. And I like it. Yeah. Important dates. September 22, 2022, Clayton and Susie Evans announced their breakup. Now, that would be publicly through the media, so everyone would be notified. October 17th, 2022, Clayton advertised as looking for potential clients as a personal trainer, NASM certified.
I remember that. Yeah.
November 11th of 2023, Laura receives her NASM certification as a personal trainer. Laura has not mentioned this profession to Clayton in any of their correspondence that is publicly available. When this thing came up that she was a personal trainer, I was so confused by that, but I kind of skipped over it. I was like, I don't know what to think about this. Like, really? She became a personal trainer? It just didn't seem to track with what I knew about her and her interests. And so it was very there was like a pin in my mind on that one. Like I stuck a pin in it, like for later. And then they came up with this and it was like, oh my goodness. Wait till you get to it. Some questions. Why would someone who can't drive, let alone to gyms due to supposed epilepsy, who appears to not enjoy going out in public, choose to get certified in a profession that normally requires being in public at gyms, not to mention working with others and having those personal conversations she now says are so taxing to her? Why would someone who by all appearances pursues working professional white-collar jobs choose to go into a blue-collar middle-class profession? Could it be to be able to meet someone as an equal? Why did Laura go through months of training to become a personal trainer, but never actually use or advertise the certification? Maybe because her plan changed. The tinfoil hat theory. My tinfoil hat conspiracy is that Laura began stalking Clayton in 2022. and that her family was already living beyond their means. So Laura's mess is speeding up the eventual financial collapse of her entire family for ego, to avoid appearing as what they are, average middle-class people like all of us. And this is a very interesting thing too, because I know when we looked at the loans and whatnot, and also at the house in general and the neighborhood, they only live like 5-6 miles away from my parents, where, your average upper middle class American family. They're not wealthy, but they're not wealthy, and they're somewhat wealthy. I mean, like Laura's parents, I would say. They live in very similar type situations, similar priced homes, but they're not what I would consider somebody who made $20 million a year or whatever, $1 million a year for however many years, and he was worth upwards of 20 million at some point. Like they just don't seem to fit that bill anymore. In the fall of 2022, Clayton's breakup was known, and he began advertising as a personal trainer. 1 year later, Laura received her certification in personal training, which is commonly a 12-month course online like her other schooling. I think Laura planned to get certified and begin working at the same places as Clayton with the intention of dating him. She couldn't just hire him as a personal trainer because he would refuse to date a client. She needed to be an equal. Here's where she effed up. Due to stalking him long term, she spotted when he announced he was a real estate agent. Instead of staying on course, she did a crash course in real estate investing so she could try to impress Clayton. Laura and her mom created an LLC for real estate investing just 8 days before contacting Clayton on LinkedIn. This is incredible. This is incredible stuff.
Mhm.
She made a fake PDF of an investment. Now, this is alleging that she made a fake PDF. We don't know if this is a fake PDF or not. This is the
Right.
tinfoil hack conspiracy.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Yeah.
They're claiming that she made a fake PDF of an investment money market account with a small fortune in it. Notice her sworn testimony regarding the account. She didn't want to mention the exact balance, likely due to it being grossly smaller. Note, if Laura had that much money in a money market account, why would they need the high interest rate loan on her parents' hacienda just to get around $150K? I think Laura faked the letter from the hard money lender and the money market account. I think she used it as a ruse to get to know Clayton while pretending to be successful, accomplished, and from a rich family. Note, see the loan Elo's parents took out on the hacienda that required Laura's sister and brother-in-law to co-sign due to the high risk which comes with a high interest rate. To demonstrate, okay, so this is number 16, and this is from one of the filings. To demonstrate my offers were serious, I attached proof of funds to the offers, which included a current bank statement showing I had almost $450,000 in cash in a checking account shown below. All right, so this is the document that the researchers are saying they think may be doctored. Now, from what we know of Laura Owens and her arts and crafts, she is absolutely capable of typing in numbers that don't exist on things, which is all that you would need to do here. You would need to get a PDF of your bank statement, and then you just go in here with Adobe and you switch the numbers.
Now, remind me, after the Clayton debacle, didn't she purchase real estate?
She did. She did.
So
She purchased.
to me, the whole thing about the between this email to Clayton and the June 10th hearing, to me, it seems more likely that maybe they moved money around.
Yep, possibly.
As opposed to faking a document. But I don't know.
That's possible. That's possible. It certainly isn't. It certainly is. It's just a theory. It's just a theory. It could be total bullshit. This is something that, it's just interesting how the pieces are coming together in this longer.
Yeah.
It makes sense to me that she was watching him for longer.
Yeah. To me, the more compelling thing is how she was insisting on Reddit and stuff she didn't watch The Bachelor, but then there were Instagram posts of her watching The Bachelor and contacting Clayton after he got his real estate license directly on LinkedIn. If your parents have already bought a house, if you have family connections, Clayton Echard is not going to be your first real estate agent. Like, there's no way. To me, like, it's so unlikely.
Yeah, it's very unlikely.
So to me, that is
Wright,
the biggest clue. that they're
RJ
maybe
Wright says, "Can
stalking.
someone tell Megan that Laura put no money down on the house that she bought?" Okay,
Oh,
all right, that's interesting, but she still managed to secure a loan somehow.
right.
So you would think that the bank would do the proper checking to make sure that the money she says she had in order to give her a loan. So I don't know. I mean, this is wait. How could she have no loan? She purchased her property with a very interesting way of financing, seller financing. What? So wait, you're telling me that she pays her mortgage then to the seller?
Hmm.
That's what the seller took on the mortgage. So all she has to do is pay a monthly like mortgage to the seller instead of putting down a
Yeah,
loan.
there's some kind of specific terminology for this type of thing, which
Oh.
is I can't remember what the name for it is. Someone in chat will figure it out.
All right. So she
There's a
didn't use a
name.
bank. It's owner finance. The home isn't legally in her name yet until she pays them. So it's almost like a rent to own situation.
Hmm.
First time home buyer lets you borrow the down payment. Oh, but so did she
Sometimes.
borrow it from the bank or did she borrow it from the seller?
Hmm.
Huh. Yeah, so isn't that called rent? Yeah, it is almost like a rent to own
Hmm.
situation. I don't know. I mean, my dad was a mortgage broker for a while. He would be able to answer this question, I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
Um, MG Law says so she just makes payments to the seller. She didn't have to actually get a loan, basically like a contract for deed.
Mhm.
MG knows about contracts. This is what he does. Okay, so that's interesting. So the owner of the property ends up being her lenders, and she didn't have to put down a down payment. I don't know as a seller why you would do that. I don't know how that is. How is that actually good for the seller? To me, that seems like you're just renting out your
Well,
property. And what if they don't pay you? And what if she
yeah.
doesn't pay?
So I think there's some risks. So you're basically making some sort of margin on top, but you're taking on the risk.
Yeah.
So it's like, even in the stock market, right? There's risk, but you can have higher return. So it's just one of these trade-offs.
Hmm.
I think the financial stuff is less interesting to me than the interesting things about like the physical training or whatever it is,
Yeah. I
certification,
agree. I
contacting
agree.
Clayton on LinkedIn out of the blue. I think those things are much more suspicious here.
Yeah, but also I think that the financial situation matters because
Hmm.
I think her telling him that she wanted to buy several multi-million dollar two multi-million dollar properties, like just that's absurd. That's not she was never going to buy multi-million dollar properties, I don't believe. That she ended up buying one property that was like a much smaller, much less expensive than I don't know, what was it? Does anybody know what the actual sale price of the home was? I don't think it was over $1 million.
Mm. Well, she wanted him to submit those offers, and I don't know what her game plan was if she didn't intend to follow through with those offers.
I don't know either, but I mean, you can always back out of stuff. Is in
You
especially
just
if you're,
find
es-
something in an inspection to complain about and get out.
yeah, in you can get out of it in the inspection for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, all right, boots on the ground says it was 700 plus K. Well, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
But why would an owner finance that with no down payment? That doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make any sense. Are you guys sure
Uh,
that that's what happened? Because I'm not. That there's no way a seller wouldn't want a massive down payment on that kind of deal unless they knew them and they were friends or something. I can't imagine.
unless the person doing it is really rich and it's just another investment strategy.
I can't imagine that this is something.
I don't know.
I mean, Les says people do it all the time. Ronnie G says I'm a seller financer in Texas. A mortgage or deed is in buyer's name, and I hold a lien for non-payment.
Yeah.
Okay, but I can't figure out why a seller would want to do this
Well, if they have a
without a big
lien,
down payment.
they have at least a little bit of protection, right?
Okay, Boots says seller is getting monthly payments and retains ownership of the property, but I still don't see what the upside is. I don't know if you have a property worth that much, you would at least want a big down payment to enter into a deal like that. BS says, Megan, it's a tax advantage to keep a property in contract for deed. Otherwise, the government takes part of the profit. Okay. Well, there's an incentive. You know,
Yeah.
fuck the government. So if that's a way to do that, I get it. Okay. Well, this is not Learn Mortgages Day. Let's just move through here. All right. Once Laura had Clayton showing her the respect she believes she's owed, she sends the flirty texts and photos. Despite Clayton being a high testosterone male, he's been careful about partners. Laura lulled him into a false complacency. He believed she was a high net worth individual that wouldn't try trapping him. She says all the right things, and he's high, so he thinks they'll just have a respectful, fun night of fooling around. She comes over, they fool around. At one point, he admits that he asked to put himself inside her. What?
And this will get awkward.
Laura, wanting to keep stringing him along, won't give up sex on the first date. She gives him a couple blowies, and Laura likely thinks she's in. They meet the next day. Laura's on top of the world. She changed up her plan on the fly, and it worked. Clayton, feeling remorseful, tries to let her down gently. This is when she gets the black look on her face. She's devastated, and this part makes total sense to me. She's been working on this plan for around 8 months at this point. All of that work was for nothing. She breaks down crying. To Clayton, this reaction seems insane. If this was just a spur-of-the-moment hookup, it would be. What no one, other than Laura, knows is that in her mind, this relationship has been going on for 8 months. Her reaction makes sense. If you look at what she put in to make this relationship happen, Clayton remains firm. They will never fool around again. Laura isn't a quitter. She learned with Matt, Mike, Greg, and who knows how many others, that there are ways to try to force a man into a relationship against his will. After all, she and Clayton are perfect for one another in her mind. This was when she begins the threats. She'll call his broker, report him to the state real estate board, and claim she is pregnant from pre-cum from rubbing against the outside of her. It's all she's got since they didn't have intercourse. Laura's playbook doesn't work. She goes anonymously to the tabloids. That doesn't work. She doesn't understand that her constant abuse and harassment has been too hurtful for Clayton to ever trust her again. Same thing happened with Greg. Mike was brought back in by it, and the things like the fake radio contract and Laura buying him the expensive watch, which was a fake, and which she was scared about her parents finding out about because all her money comes from them. They would have questioned where the money came from because she didn't have access to $9,000, which lends credence to her not having a $500,000 money market account a few years later. Maybe. Laura likely went to her mother at this point. Her parents gave her $5,000 for the lawyer she hired to help with Clayton. That went nowhere, and I suspect her parents wouldn't give her any more money. Laura represented herself. She believes she is smart enough. See, that was something that always got me too. Why go pro se when you have money and supposedly all this money, and you have lawyers that probably work for the family full time when you have somebody who's in entertainment? It doesn't make sense that you would go pro se and unless you can't afford it. Because people like Laura's dad know you don't go to court without a lawyer.
Yeah.
He knows that.
And wasn't there something about she did retain a lawyer for a week or something, but their weekly rate was so high?
$5,000. It was $5,000, and it was burned through with like one filing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Spawn is texting me to make sure that she.
Yeah. And Laura got real defensive about the all the Joe Cotchett emails in the Craig Gillespie case when Woodnick was trying to contact him. If you had this whole law firm out there on the West Coast, like ready to go for you.
Yeah, why didn't
you wouldn't be so defensive about it?
And why didn't he ever enter into court on her behalf, telling her that she's got a great case and all this stuff? When she can't get Zoom, that is when she wears the moon bump in public. She later wears it on Zoom. Laura is under pressure, so she's making more fake documents and giving different people different stories. She has no end game. She waited too long to claim she had a miscarriage because she'd need a fetal death certificate. Yeah, that was a big mistake. She hoped it would all go away in December, while unaware she'd done too much damage. She abused too many people. To top it off, she made a false accusation against a nice guy that could have been a brother, a son, etc. Her parents had to come up with money for more lawyers. While grasping, Laura got herself in a mess. Exposing her for being a broke young woman living at home would be too much for her mother to handle. When the lawyers were unable to help her get out while saving her reputation due to ethics, they needed a lawyer that wouldn't think twice about being a bull in a china shop. The problem was Gingras wasn't going to be cheap. This is when they took out another loan on the hacienda while borrowing more than it's worth. The risk is shown through the need of Laura's sister and brother-in-law needing to co-sign. High net worth individuals don't need 4 loan signers on a mortgage or borrow at interest rates higher than their investments pay. There is no estate planning reason to do this. Their family is just that strapped and needed money for living expenses in Gingras. The Zillow estimate on the Owens property in Scottsdale is $1.4 million. In the past 2 years, they have taken out multiple loans on the house totaling $1.8 million. This means that they are around $400,000 underwater. That's really a scary place for a family to be, and I wish they had not had to do all of this. I wish that they had told their daughter no, and I wish that they had said and gotten her some help and made her admit that this was all a hoax, because she's now put her entire family, it looks like, if this is the case, her entire family is now on a precipice of bankruptcy, which is not what anybody wants for anybody to suffer, especially an older couple in their retirement with no ability to earn anymore. What the hell? How could
And
you?
the horse lifestyle is also very expensive. Right?
Very expensive. Very expensive. I mean, think of all the money she could have saved and used on her hobby that she loves if she had not done any of this, if she had just stopped, if she had just admitted it. She could have signed a piece of paper so long ago. This would have been so over. We wouldn't have been talking about this after that, first week after she signed a document. This would have been over. And nobody would be talking about Laura Owens anymore. And now her family's on the edge of ruin.
Mm-hmm.
This just makes me sad. If this is the case, it makes me sad. May 9th.
It would be a footnote like that New York girl that accused Clayton of a one-night stand or whatever.
Right. Who the hell is talking about her anymore?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be a footnote.
Ooh, RJ Wright says this isn't the only tinfoil hat theory. There's one other. Well, where? I want to see it. I love the tinfoil hat theories. These are fun.
The Leia Skywalker of Substack.
Yeah, if you've got another one, please email it to me. I would love to see it. May 9th, 2023, power of attorney for what's HELOC?
I think that's the loan type. It's probably like high interest.
Oh, no, that's the power of attorney. Wait, let's click on it. It'll just take us there to the Padlet.
Oh, okay.
The limited power of attorney. This was the one with the signatures that, remember, there was some weirdness on the signature for Ron.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, here. So they had to have the power of attorney signed by all these people. Remember that? So,
yeah.
Okay. Then there was May 12th, Sarah and her husband, Christian, are added to the house deed, and all the links to the documents are attached to this. Power of attorney for house refinance.
It's home equity line of credit. Home equity line of credit.
Okay.
MG law.
And then April 19th, 2024, the current deed of trust on the house for $1.6 million. May 6th, the current HELOC for $199,800. And then we have the Zillow listing. Off-market estimate 1.4.
And take Zillow with a grain of salt. I've heard their estimates.
Right, because the estimates can be off.
Quite
Absolutely.
a bit off.
All right, so that's that theory, and I just think that there is something. I do feel like I feel the same as you do, that the more interesting part of that theory is the personal trainer theory. The idea that she may have been watching him for longer and trying to find a way to insert herself into his life makes a lot of sense. And the fact that she's never done anything with that personal training certificate is just interesting. Timmy the dog says she needs to get a job. She does. Maybe she should become a personal trainer. I mean, that would be good for her to get out there and actually work and take her mind off Reddit and all of this stuff that she keeps, and all her lawsuits. Just give it up already and become a normal person would be great for her, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, with all her Medium blogs, like, I feel like she could write like cheesy romance novels and make a bunch of money writing
That was
cheesy romance novels.
Didn't you read her account of Mike Maricini and that whole thing? That was a cheesy romance novel. That was
Yeah.
it was like a BDSM, 50 Shades of Grey
There you go.
fantasy novel. That's how it read to me. The first time I read it, I was like, oh my Lord, what kind of fiction is she reading?
And she's got horses and airs. She could be the next Nora Roberts,
She could. She's got a lot of opportunities out there to do something else with her life besides constant litigation and scamming people. She should do something else from now on. She just needs to go do something else. And I'm very sad for her family if they're in this position where they're now financially on the edge of ruin because of all of this. It's just absolutely terrible. Just absolutely terrible. Thank you, MG, for the definition of the HELOC, the home equity line of credit. And again, folks, don't take out loans you cannot afford. And that's a really bad idea, especially in an economy like this, especially if you're in your retirement years. That just seems like a real bad idea to me. I mean, I'm not a financial advisor or anything, but I think you should probably avoid taking out loans when you don't have money coming in, period. So, all right. Well, I think that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Bruce, thanks for hanging out with me.
Oh,
What do you
yeah, no
have?
problem.
What do you have coming up on your channel? What's going on?
Oh my gosh. Well, I went through that David Gingras video last night at midnight. So I have an hour-long video for that. I don't know. I started a very long American Truck Simulator drive. I need to finish that up. I'm working on what's called NaNoWriMo, where you try to write 50,000 words for a novel in the month of November.
Ooh,
So I'm trying to write some fiction and spend some time doing that. It's fun.
that's fun. Are you writing a horror story? What are you writing?
It's kind of like gothic mystery, gothic horror
Nice.
/ mystery, ghost
I had this.
town
It's funny that you're
sort of
doing
thing.
this because I told my daughter the other day because I love Frankenstein and I love the story behind Frankenstein. I love the fact that, Lord Byron and Mary Shelley and Percy Shelley, they're all at this country estate having their own little contest to see who can write the best horror story over the weekend. And
Yeah.
Frankenstein emerges from that. I mean, you just can't even. And I said to my daughter, like, we should do that. We should take a weekend in, especially the month of November. I always feel like writing some sort of gothic horror novel in November. We should take it and write short stories and see which one is the best and publish them. And it would be fun,
Yeah, and putting
Um,
some rules around it or a challenge or putting some guardrails around it. Because if you think about, art, whether it's painting, music, writing, whatever, if you just say, okay, I'm just going to go to the arts and crafts, I can do anything, you just become paralyzed with the options you have. So
True.
once you put some rules in place and say, I'm only going to make I have to make a song and it has to be in A minor. I have to write, but I can only write in November. You put some
Right.
rules in there and challenge yourself, you're more likely to succeed.
Right. I mean, word limits can help,
Yeah.
maybe, 3,000 word limit for a short story is pretty good. Um, you know, putting the type of story in there. I love the idea of writing a horror short story. But it's just, I think when you do little contests like that, good things can come from it.
Oh, yeah.
Creativity can really, I mean, Frankenstein is one of the greatest books ever written. It came out of a 3-day weekend challenge,
There you go.
It's really something, really, really something. And then after that, she really fleshed it out into an actual novel, and it became what it became. And if you have never read Frankenstein, the original, please read it this month. It's a great month to read it. It's fall. It's creepy outside. The trees look all weird, and there's fires going. If you live near where I am, anyway. I don't know if you're in the South. I can't help you with your weather problems.
Yeah. I just burned my burn pile before this torrential rain began.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great time to read some spooky stuff, and Frankenstein never disappoints. It's a wonderful, wonderful story. So yeah, enjoy. I love reading. You guys let me know. Join meganfox.locals.com. By the way, we have a live chat going there all the time, and hearing about what books are your favorite books and what you're reading and doing. That's the kind of thing that we talk about. And I would love to have you over there. You can join for free. You do not have to subscribe. If you join for free, you just can't take part in the live chats, but you can certainly see the posts, and you can see when I'm going live. The notifications are much more reliable than YouTube. And if you want to join, it's only $5 a month, and we have a lot of fun over there. I'll be running a special and doing a drive for locals soon. And I may do a locals only stream later today. I may actually do a cooking stream today once I figure out what I'm going to make. MG Law says, when's our next convoy? Yeah, that's a good question. Maybe this weekend. You know, I generally don't stream on the weekends, but I may have an opening this weekend. We'll see. I will. I'll get back to you on that, MG, because I do need to do another one. Let's see. All right. I think that's it. What are we going to leave you with? Which song have you really wanted to hear but haven't heard in a while? Because I haven't done a stream like this in a while. Should we do Having the Babies if I don't hear from you tonight? Or Fiverr? She hired Fiverr. There's always Pond Scum Posse.
In honor of David's video, do you have a standalone David song? Like, I want a phone call or something? Or is that part of the big music?
Yes, I do have that. The phone call. Oh my God. Yes. Thank you. I haven't played that in so long. That's the one. Do you want to have a phone call? Oh my God. I love that song. Let's see. How do I find it? I just forgot what I've called it. I don't have it uploaded to Streamyard. But if I search for it, will it come up? Should. I know phone call is in the title. Hello. There it is. Yes. All right, guys. We'll see you later. Enjoy this.
Would Nick, do you want to have a phone call? Come on and call me. I never hear from you anymore. Come on the line, it's like you're ignoring me. We need to talk off the record, and now we're not. I wish you would tell me why. Do you wanna have a phone call? It doesn't have to be a phone call. Go away, Gingras. Okay, bye. Do you wanna have a phone call? Or go out to lunch in the garden? I think a phone call is overdue. I've started talking to the blog on the internet. Hang in there, Laura Owens. It gets a little messy, all this fake evidence. Just watching the hours tick by. Gingras, please, I know you're in the office. People are asking why I'm still on the case. They say I'm a douche canoe, and I'm an idiot. I'm in my office, just give me a call. We only need a phone call. It's about the case, what are we gonna do? Do you want to have a phone call? Do you want to have a phone call? Come on and call me. I never hear